Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Poor Choices, that time of the month. We're going to have the time of the month every week this week, by the way, so probably should go to the doctor. But today, I'm Expert Girl, of course. Tugs will be here eventually. She will be here, but we have a lovely guest today. We have Wicked Virtue over here,
Hi.
looking so pretty right now.
Thanks, and I got my wine. I'm ready.
I know, me too. With you, I know I gotta be ready.
You have to. The same with you, though. Maybe we're each other's enablers
I
now.
know. Bad influence. Next time
Actually,
we
I
get
gotta
to,
get the wine.
next time we spend time together, we need to have a wine night.
We should do like a wine tasting and do like a video, maybe.
Ooh, do they have because I know you're out in like the East Coast area, South. Do they have any wineries down there? I don't
They
even
have.
know.
They have to. Is Tara in here? I feel like he knows that stuff. He doesn't drink, but he knows all about the wine stuff. So if you're in here, Tara, let us know.
Crystal, I saw you in the chat. Let me know. Because, well, I mean, I need to know.
This information is very vital right now, please.
My life will change literally based on what you say is all
There
it
has to be, because it's warm over here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that they should be I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because there's, like, that ice wine that we talked about on my stream, which it's good, but it's just a little too sweet for me, but it's
So sweet.
good. It's so I had a headache afterwards, but it was good. It tasted good,
It's
but
like a good gateway wine for people who aren't sure about wine. And
you
then
know
when
who
you
would probably know? Lee. We gotta ask Mr. Capable
oh,
Gentleman. He should know
there we go.
if there's wine
Florida has a
tastings.
lot of wineries, including ooh,
Okay.
okay. Okay, you need to tell me. Go research for me,
I
Wicked.
just Googled it. We'll have to
um,
go to, like I feel like Orlando would be good, though, because like,
ooh,
that's where
probably.
probably
It
the
has to
next
be
time we'll see each
probably in the
other.
country. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about
Mm,
the squeakies.
that's true.
Um, before we start, we got Smooth the DJ, has become a Lush member. Thank you, Smooth, and also gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Smooth. I don't have a clap button for here. I feel sad. And we also got
Oops.
Frank with another 5 gifted memberships. That's 10 today. Much love to you all. Actually, I think I know a way to do this. Let me just change my audio.
Your, Stream Deck thing?
There we go. Okay, so let me try this. Do I have a clap?
It worked!
Yes. Okay, but if I like start watching other videos, it'll just like all of a sudden appear in there. So I'll have to keep in mind that.
I
But
couldn't figure out how to get my Stream Deck connected to StreamYard, so
oh, really?
it's okay. I just have the videos up where you gotta click them, but it's so much easier to use the
Oh, for
buttons.
sure. I don't have any videos. I have my favorite video that I have that I barely use is this one.
Wow, really?
He's like he's like one of the prettiest looking guys throwing a huge bear. He's from Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, okay, but the guy in the background, wow, really? Did he get him that? Is that the one that he gave did that guy give it to him or something? He sounded pretty upset.
He was trying to get on a date and with this girl, and I think the girl went on a date with another guy and he got upset, threw the bear into the ocean.
Oh, that guy is straight. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, he's very straight. He does not look straight, but he is very straight. And he's actually married now to just a random girl, and I think that's the best way to do it. It's
Yeah,
the best
well,
way to
good
do
for
it.
him.
We got another 5 gifted memberships from Tomorrow Lad. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, as well as Smooth the DJ has gifted another 5 memberships. Oh my gosh, you guys are just so generous. This is what happens when you bring in someone so pretty like her.
I want to blush. X-Ray Girl's gonna make me blush, guys.
Oh
No.
my god. Hey,
We're gonna have a whole simping stream right now.
we could probably simp for each other the entire
Mutual
time.
simpery.
I like that. I like that. You know, I feel like the word simp has such a negative connotation on the internet, but let's make it not negative. Like,
We're
come
gonna
on,
take it back,
let's take
okay?
it back. Being Sims is not a bad thing at
No,
all.
there's nothing wrong with some mutual sympathy either, like, women
Exactly.
supporting women,
And
supporting. I don't
plating.
know. I got a whole different I don't know what that accent came from, but okay.
I well, I don't even know what kind of accent that is.
Me neither. It's
Mm.
new.
But yes, so just to remind the chat, Tugs is on her way. She is on the road driving. She had a super secret mission, one I didn't even know of. So we will see her hopefully at some point. This is definitely not Tugs. If Tugs
It's
can grow
not,
her
I'm
hair that
sorry.
long that quickly, I'd be so jealous.
My hair does kinda grow pretty quick, I'm not mad about it, though.
I'm so jealous. So jealous. But in any case, we I wanted to just chat with Wicked, see how she's doing in this world, see how much information she knows, because with the red pill, manosphere, this world is a little wild. Just a little wild. Have you watched any videos on conservative values or anything like that? Whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit. Um,
No. I've
no?
heard about it, though, I haven't watched the rest, but I've heard quite a bit about it. Like,
Uh-huh.
I watch Aba and Preach, like, I don't catch up on I'm actually I'm a little behind on their videos, but that's what I know a little bit, like, they brought it up because I remember wasn't it, like, freaking H3 that tried saying that they were in support of Fresh and Fit, like, there was that whole thing,
I
they
think
came at Ava and Preach saying, like, that they were supporting, and they were like, "Bro, no." I loved that little beef between them, Ava and Preach, just, like, they're freaking hilarious the way
so
they come at
yeah,
Ethan.
I love when they just do the stand there and stare like,
Like, "Bro."
bruh,
Yeah.
bruh, laugh, laugh, laugh,
They're
bruh.
so funny. Oh my gosh.
Just because we're gonna talk a little bit about the Lauren Southern video. If you guys
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen it,
oof.
wild,
You should
absolutely
watch it if you
wild.
haven't watched it, chat. It's a lot.
It
It's a
is a
lot to
lot,
take in,
and
but
this
she
is a
is ugh, I
woman
could
who
drink.
is very active in politics, is very traditional values that she's preached about, and just the whole relationship. It's kind of a hot mess, but it'll be interesting to kind of chat about not specifically the relationship, but things that have shown up in the relationship that I think are very important because. I mean, I am nowhere on the left, right, or anywhere. I'm kind of very in the middle, very in the middle. And I like to think about every relationship on both sides of the coin. And obviously, we're only seeing one side. But even from the one side, it is pretty
You
salacious.
Yeah, it is. I'm the same, like, I like to stay in the middle, like, me, like, personally, I guess my values when it comes to, like, relationships and stuff would lean a bit more conservative, but not, like, so far over there that, like, I just lose myself in a way like she did. That's kinda what she said, she lost herself and, because she wanted to what did she say? She didn't wanna be, like, not married at 30 and
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm probably more in the middle, but if I did lean one way, it would be more over there in that sense, if that makes sense.
Well,
But
the hard part with all of that is I think when you're so young, you can make decisions so quickly on a dime. You fall in love with someone and love is so blinding,
oh, yeah.
which if you watch the video, she is a political activist. Very controversial in the online world. Do
Yeah.
I know what that is about? Hell no. But I've heard her name enough to know, like, okay, if I want to find out some stuff about the back in the day, politics wise, she was very active. She
Mhm.
fell in love, in her words, a Fed. Someone works for the government in Australia. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but of politics.
Yeah, really though. Yeah. It was so I didn't really know who she was. I think, like, probably, like, 6, maybe even closer to a year ago, Blair White had her on her podcast, I think she did, and they talked a little bit it was more so about, like, backstage stuff, like, where they'll talk about, like, if they go to parties, that some of the super, like, online people that say they're super duper conservative are the ones that are more, like, loose, and they're, like, doing drugs, and they're going wild, and I think it was Lauren. I'm not positive if that who she had. Someone in the chat knows you can correct me, but I actually have to catch up on Blair's podcast as well. I'm, like, way behind, but this was yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Lauren, and that's all I really knew about her until I seen this video, and I'm like, "Okay, I know who this girl is," but I'm not, like, I don't know all about her. I just know she was a big political person, and then she just, like, kinda disappeared off the internet for a little bit, and now we know why, because she
Yeah.
got married and was in a that part though, like, being stuck in Australia during the whole, like, 2020 stuff,
No,
ooh, that had
that
to have
is
been
so
terrifying for
difficult.
her.
It's almost even scarier than being in Canada during the
Yeah,
lockdown, so,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you were at least able to leave, like, I mean, not well, not during the lockdown, but, like, I feel like Australia had it longer to where, like, you couldn't leave. I don't know, I could be like, the world was just crazy at that point, so I
And
don't
then
even
they had
know.
those, like, COVID homes that you had to stay at.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
So, it was insane. In any case, it was really interesting to see how their Romeo and Juliet love, eh, blossomed, and she was so in love. They both had traditional conservative values, and thinking from words, from my understanding, that was enough for a relationship to stay afloat, because he said he's fine with it. He's okay giving up his work to go live with her in Canada, and that was enough to keep the relationship afloat. I think it's very interesting seeing how people communicate within that. I've been a huge person on actions speak louder than words. I think a lot of people believe that what they want to believe until they
mm,
actually have to do it. And that is a scary thing. And I kind of think that it's one of those things that happened to her, because it's happened to me too. And I'm not sure if it's happened to you, where someone says they want to do. I'm a big traveler, and then when it comes time to travel,
mhm.
do they want to?
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm the same way. Actions speak louder than words, but again, like when you fall in love, especially young, like she was in her 20s, right? When
She's still in her
sh
20s, I think.
is she well, geez, okay. So then yeah, she was really young and again, you hear what you wanna hear. He told her what she wanted to hear. So she was like, "Okay." And I feel like even more so for men, like a lot of women might not wanna do this, but men, they feel like they gotta be like they're breadwinners, right? Like it's like a
Mhm,
thing just built in them. So he had this great job that he left to go be with her, and then she said in the video that he took a job that he just hated and he just was miserable. So he started to resent her,
mhm,
probably like almost right away, but didn't show the signs right away. And so, just like what she said about him just taking the job and then not talking to her about it
mhm.
and telling her like, "Oh, you have to we're moving to Australia or I'm gonna divorce you." I know I get like she was in love with him, but that for me personally, that would make the love start going down. Like you're
I
gonna tell like that like I don't care if we've been together for 15 years. If you're like ultimatums are never good in a relationship.
Absolutely not.
You
Um,
don't do that. If he she should have I wanna say she should have known, but we can't put ourselves in her shoes, but it's like it's in a like, that's like a real big red flag, like, "Alert, alert, he doesn't love you," like, he didn't even bother to talk to you about
mhm.
this.
That for me would have been the final straw, because it's like, one, you decided to move us without considering us. And when people say, there was a tweet from back then, is like, if you have to ask, oh, it was from Pearl. If you say you have to ask your wife, and compared it to, that's like your assistant. No, you shouldn't ask your assistant what you should do, like your wife. And I'm like, are you
Yeah, no,
serious? Like,
it's
this
a
is,
50-50 thing, it's
yeah.
different. It's because the chances are, like, especially the way she was thinking, if he would've talked to her about it and made her a part of the process, I think she still would have done it. Because, I mean,
Oh,
she clearly did it
absolutely.
with the ultimatum, but it would've been better to give her the choice. Um,
Because it's nice to do things like
yeah,
that.
and like you said, actions speak louder than words, and to me, that action is, "I don't care about you, I care about me, so you're gonna do what I wanna do, or I'm just cutting you," and that's like,
Mhm.
"What? What?" Like, that hurts, it probably would hurt to end it then and be, like, broken, but she ended up that way anyways after going through all that trouble.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And Sheila says, if you're not the breadwinner, she will start to hate you. It is a proven fact. I mean, I think there is, like, when you say breadwinner, like the only person to make money, or more than her. I guess I'm just trying to proven fact.
understand. I get where he's coming from because there's a lot of and that's also what it's embedded into men, like, if I'm not providing, I'm not doing it right. Like, I feel like it's, like, not a I don't wanna say a primal thing, but every man well, most men anyways, ones that,
Mhm.
it is more traditional too, like you said, they were traditional
Very
conservative,
traditional.
both
I don't
of
think she
them,
actually
so
worked, very much, to be honest.
no, I think
Think
she just
so.
did the YouTube stuff, right? And then she
Mm,
stopped because I'd have to look back at her page, but didn't she stop just completely doing the YouTube stuff for, like, a
mm,
year at least or a couple years? And not to mention real quick, if you guys don't know this, when he did this ultimatum to her, she had just had the baby. I don't even think their baby was a year yet, like, it was
mhm.
their son was an infant. So that's insane, the amount of hormones going through you after you have a baby and you're
It's
healing from
emotional.
being pregnant, like, oh.
And there's something so, when you have a baby, I see this happen most of the time. It is mostly the mother's parents that are helping out more than the in-laws' parents. There's a comfortability in that. Not to say that it can't happen the other way, but I've seen
Mhm,
it a lot just out of comfortability. I would love my mom to help out because I know her. I know how to communicate with her more effectively than say
mhm,
my in-laws' parents. Not to say that they won't help or that I don't want them, but if I have a kid, it's going to be more natural to go to my mom just because
mhm,
that's who I'm used to.
yeah.
And we have, Peter Frazee here. It says that, his mom was the breadwinner, and they've been married for 30 years. There's probably a lot of communication that they've had
Mhm.
too.
That's the key, you gotta communicate.
Mhm. And it just sounded like her relationship had very little communication.
Yeah, if he's making a big like, that's so big, it's not like, "Hey, we're gonna move to another town." It was a whole 'nother country.
Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. We got Blabs in the chat. Hi, Blabs.
"Hi, Blabs."
Oh, Smoo here. I have no issue when the woman I'm with earns more money than me. It's bound to happen considering that the job I'm working is not paid good anyways. Nurses aren't paid well? I find that hard to believe. But in
Yeah.
any case, the just seeing how that had become it kind of was the ignition of all the bad stuff that was gonna happen in their relationship. And I'm not gonna lie, I've seen women do this where they find little things here and there to pick on for a guy in their relationship before, try to push him out.
Mhm.
Because if they do it, they're not the bad guy if the guy breaks up with the girl. I feel like that is such a common trait for women, but I've never seen it with men.
Now that you point that out, that's actually pretty interesting because I feel like in a certain sense, guys are just, like, more chill in that sense, they don't really think
They're
about it, and
honest.
women, we overthink everything too.
Mhm.
Not saying there's guys that probably overthink as well, but women are just we're notorious for that.
Yeah. Shaka Zulu says, "Will in Christian conservative homes, men in charge, even if women makes more, long as this respect and are okay with both partners, uh, it'll last way longer, the relationship." Hey, I mean,
Again, communication, that's
I
the key.
I don't know. So I have lived in a family where we run businesses together collectively.
Mhm.
So who makes more? No one. It's pretty equal. That's why I'm doing like that whole 50-50. I'm down for it.
Mhm.
I'm okay
I feel
because
like that's also, like, more of, like, our generation too. Not that there's anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but I feel like more women these days are okay with taking more work than it was, like, back, say, like, when our parents but even back with our parents, moms worked and stuff, but I still feel like it's, like, a lot of guys just have that mindset to where they're like, "If I'm not, like, the primary caregiver here, I'm failing as a man."
mm,
So that could have been in that I'm thinking that's what was in that guy's head. He was, like, going crazy, and then but it's still it's not an excuse. The fact that he didn't talk to her about it, I can't believe that she went I could never do that. That'd be terrifying
no,
to me. Move
absolutely
to another
not.
country for someone and, like, especially there had to have been signs. Like, she's not probably gonna say it because she kinda seemed like she was almost trying to not down talk him too bad. She was just saying the, like, facts of what happened, but then she didn't really bash him as much as she probably could have. There had to have been some kind of sign, like, before, like, him acting some kind of, like, resentment or something
Oh,
towards her when
absolutely.
she didn't say any of it, though. So
Well, when she was talking about how he was using excuses instead of probably the truth,
mhm.
like things that she can't change. It's like you kind of knew that going in, and she changed what she could for him. Stop doing the politics and,
He changed her life too. He changed
yeah,
his life, she changed hers.
tried to help out what she could, give what money she could, clean, cook, take care of the kids, take care of the home. These are things that like a lot of red pill people say they want in a woman.
Mhm.
And, he's traditional, valued man, Christian, and that still wasn't enough. So I think it's so interesting to see this turnaround, at least that in her admission of how that didn't work for her, even though she tried to be the poster child of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just and a big thing about it is that at least she made it sound this way, that he was so willing, like it was almost his idea, like, "I'll move to Canada for you. I'll leave Australia, move to Canada for you. I'll
Yeah.
leave my job." But then, like, he just does, like, this 180 on her. I'm sure we don't know the whole story, but and just, like, the full picture, like, what he did, and then now he's not even a part of his kid's life, right? Like, I think she said that, like, he
Yeah.
just wants it's she
It's
just never should have done it. Like, that's just, like, the biggest red flag in the world, like, to say, like, "Listen," and it's about divorce too. It's not just like, "Oh, I'm gonna be mad at you," or, like, some little petty argument. He straight up was like, "I'm gonna divorce you if you don't move to Australia with me," and she did it.
Yeah. See, I'm sure she was perfect. No, she wasn't. She admitted to it.
Mm-mm.
Things that she never specifically said. I I would love to know the details of the little stuff when the little stuff started bothering him
Yeah, because it had to have been before, because he
before they
clearly
while
was,
they were
like,
in Canada.
unhappy. Yeah, because if he's gonna look for another job in Australia and just up and move them like
Yep.
that, he was clearly, yeah, not doing well. Um,
It's really sad to see that, especially because she wanted this life so much. She gave up everything, to be a wife, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. Um, Peter says, "My parents are a small percentage." Absolutely. They're the exception to the rule. My mom had 2 kids at the age of 28. My dad adopted both kids. Oh my goodness.
aw. Yeah, see, yeah, small percentage. They're actually happy. And again, communication, I'm sure they're very good at that. A lot of people
Mhm.
are lacking in that, and that's why relationships don't work. But when an ultimatum, if somebody gives you an ultimatum in a relationship, whether you're
Not
married or not,
okay.
that it's just not okay. Like that's you just gotta, no matter how much you love that person, you just gotta get out because they don't care about your feelings.
Any
They don't love you if
friendships,
they do that. Eh,
relationships,
any relationship, yeah.
doesn't matter. Even family, if your family ultimatums you, that's not okay. And it's really sad to know that, someone who is close to you has to give you an ultimatum, and, there's a way to do it. I have had people do that to me, and it's like you could have just come and talked to me. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. um there's a way to talk to you that is not aggressive and will likely come to some sort of conclusion that is more beneficial than just being like, "Do this or we're not friends."
Yeah, because that's not cool. It's like it's my way. I don't care. It's just straight up. I don't care about your feelings. It's me, my feelings, and that's it. And that's never okay in any type of situation. So, especially in a marriage. So if you
Yeah.
that's just she messed up there. Like I'm not like I feel bad for her, yeah, but in that situation, she should have been like, well, at the very least, she should have let him go to Australia, and they could have maybe figured something out from that. But just going with him and not like really having money and just, but then continuing, didn't she continue to give him money after she went back to
Mhm,
Canada? She said that
mhm.
it's like you're the one with the kid, and you're gonna
Yeah,
send him money to help him with the bills. That doesn't make sense.
absolutely, and at least in her video, she said he made more than her, which
I'd say that.
I don't know how one does that.
And how he
Absolutely.
accepted it too, though. Like, wow, that's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Honestly, if Mark and I did that, and he was off in a different country, and I kept on, he wouldn't accept it unless
mm-mm.
he was in trouble. He would absolutely not accept it. John says here sometimes ultimatums are hard because one partner is effing up. Now, I have to agree there are some ultimatums that you can probably do. Um, Safety wise, drugs.
Yeah, I was just gonna
gangster.
say, like, if somebody is, like, a hardcore alcoholic and they're putting themselves or your family in danger, it's like, "If you don't quit, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Okay, that's different, but, like, in that sense where he's like, "You're leaving everything you know and moving over to this new country with me without me even talking to you about it, or I'm divorcing you," I'd be like, "Hey, go to the courthouse, peace."
Have a good life.
Yeah.
And she Mark would have money hidden as like probably a good stash for for it. But yeah, how did she run out of money since she was a rich trad thought? Um, what one portrays on the internet, just know that people on the internet actually some of them aren't really rich at all. Just
Sometimes it's a
you know,
show.
and to be fair too, people who are rich aren't necessarily like they can go to the bank and take out millions rich. They might have just reinvested it or, you know, like I'm trying to think of someone out there in the world. Like I'm not rich, but I don't spend money.
Yeah, you gotta be smart with your money. That's it. Like sometimes you could be like not even comfortable. There's even like a level under comfortable where you're just like you're taken care of because you're smart with
Mhm.
your finances or you work a lot. Some people work a lot, but still you gotta pay the bills. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
mean, you know. But then every now and then you gotta like, you know, do something fun for yourself too if you can, especially when you're working
Yeah,
hard. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have a lot of money just because you get to go do stuff sometimes.
exactly.
But
Shop
also some of these influencers get to do stuff for free too. So if you see
yeah,
her doing all this fancy, flashy stuff,
doesn't
she might have
necessarily
just been
mean
invited.
yeah.
Mhm.
People who go to those cons, they're there for a reason to speak. They don't necessarily pay to go. So,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Shaka Zulu says, if you cheat, then you can ultimatum. Agreed. Although, honestly, if
You just
Mark cheated
leave.
on me, I don't know. I would just go straight to me like, at this point,
Yeah.
I don't know you well enough. Mm. Yes, that's what I meant. Liquidity. You don't have
There you
liquidity
go.
if you're rich. It's all stuck in things. But most people with big money these days get pressure with where to keep it held or used. I wish we were in those days that people like put money in barrels and like in their mattresses and stuff.
I know, or just put it in the freezer.
Do you know anyone who actually did that?
I don't think so. I feel like that was, like, a thing that our grandparents maybe would do. I feel like that was it, like, "Here, you need some money," they just go in the freezer. The only time I've seen that, I used to see it on TV, you remember the movie Coyote Ugly? Remember
Oh
her
yeah, yeah, yeah.
friend gave her that big wad of money and she hid it in the freezer and
Oh
then
my god, I forgot about that.
yeah, that's, like, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that frozen
Frozen
assets. Yes.
Right, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Peter Frazee, I think this is a good piece of advice. This is why I try to ask for advice with family members who have been married for a long time and don't listen to Fresh and Fit or the whatever podcast. This is actually absolutely true. All those podcast people are single.
For a reason.
Absolutely all of them. Think about that. Are you going to take advice from them? Are you going to take money advice from someone who's poor? You're gonna take a relationship advice from someone who's single? I
Yeah, and I
don't
guess it depends, like, if on, like, the definition of single, but, like, if they're all single on a podcast, there's a reason.
yeah. Like, the only ones I know that are in a relationship, are Rolo and Michael from Access Vegas,
Mhm.
part that in that sphere of things, and, I mean, as much as I maybe don't love Destiny, but at least Destiny and Melina are married happily. They might not have the most traditional relationship,
Yeah,
but they're
agreed.
aware of it and they communicate. So who knows? Who knows? Um, but we got Ian here for 50 British pounds.
Ian.
It's sad and I feel sorry for her because of how young she was when it all took off for her. But it does also show that ideology isn't some guarantee of genuine connection. It can go down quicker than an overburdened sloop. What great words those are. And chat's like, Fitty.
Pity. Ian just likes to use the word sloop. He
well,
he loves
that's
that
the
word.
first
But
time I've
no,
heard
it's still smart, Ian. No, it's a joke from when I was streaming.
oh,
You just come in soup.
yeah, 'cause well, in the end, ideology will be really helpful in helping you guide the relationship and, like, conservative values, but you still have to get to know a person and see if they enact these values, and it's quite unfortunate that she couldn't, and that's why I like to date for a little while, at least a
Yeah,
year,
at
get through the
least.
we call it? The honeymoon phase?
Wait, so how quick did she marry this guy? Like, was
I'm
it
not sure.
okay?
Honestly, I didn't even
I
know
don't
she was
know either.
married. I didn't know she had a kid.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know she stopped doing videos on YouTube. I just thought it was very interesting seeing her relationship and her portrayal of it. I would love to know his side of the story, but I don't think we'll ever know his side of the story at this rate.
Probably not, especially if he's like a fed, like she said. I don't think
Mhm.
he's gonna come out with like a tell all YouTube video or anything anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's right. We don't know if she is telling the truth, but from what we can hear, we can only extrapolate what we think about that situation. Um,
Yeah, and I'll say they're both in the wrong. We're not I know it kinda sounds
absolutely.
like we're just, like, bashing him, but I mean, if he really is not taking care of his kid and he did all like, that's pretty messed up. He might be more in the wrong, but she also let it happen. She could have
Mhm,
ended the relationship like this we said, 20 times already that when he gave her that ultimatum, that's a huge red flag, and she should
mhm.
have just, at the very least, not went with him and been like, "I'm gonna stay here and we'll figure something out," or something, but just blindly going with him after he didn't even bother to talk to her about their life plans. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Shield Wall here says, date for 2 years minimum. You get to see it all by that point. Absolutely agree. I've always said to people are liars, especially in the first 3 months. You want to portray yourself as whatever, very
Mhm,
positive, and after that 3 months, those layers are going to start to peel. And I mean, Tara, you're asking a good question here. Get to know the person, but you're not the same person at 20 as you are at 30, 40, 50, etc. People change. And that happens too,
mhm,
and that's what communicating with your partner, being open with them. Because I mean, Mark and I, we're going through that even now. Things change as we get older. Our priorities change. Life changes. You have a kid. All of a sudden, some of these values. That's why I say religion. That is a huge one.
mhm.
Two different religions. What are you going to have your child as a Christian Muslim? Like that's not going to work. I don't think.
Yeah, I to a point that my one of my best friends growing up, her dad was, Muslim, I think it was Muslim, and her mom was a Christian. They didn't work
Okay.
out, but she was kinda like in the middle. She leaned more Christian because she grew up more with her mom, but I remember going with her once, to her dad's house, and there was, like, one of those, like, Muslim churches under there, and I was just like, because 'cause I'm Christian too, and I was like, "This is so weird." Fuck. Like, I was like, "What is this?" And she was like, yeah, she almost felt bad that she, like, chose her mom's side, like, she was able to pick, but it's like, you're right, it's like, it puts the kid in an awkward position too once they're older, like, if they have to choose between the 2, and I think it does religion's big, you wanna be with someone that has the same beliefs as you, it's just makes sense.
It does. And even like I've said this, if I don't end up like with Mark, if he passes away and I'm looking to date again, I would actually date someone within my own race. Is I don't know, does that sound extreme? Maybe,
No,
but
no.
it just
At least you know what you would want, you know?
it's easier to have these like family things, family events. They can actually understand my family when they're talking. I don't know, it's just little things like that. But it's it's tough because you do change. My parents, they got married young. They're not together anymore, but I'm actually happy they're not together because they argued all the time later in life.
Yeah, my parents, they never actually got married, but they were together for 9 years. I was 2 when they broke up, so I don't really know what them being together was like, but from what I've heard, it's 1000% a good thing that they didn't stay together. It would have been very bad.
Mm.
But yeah, it sometimes it just works that way, you be with someone for so long and then realize that it just doesn't work out. And it's again, that's a good thing they didn't get married. I know some people like think it's wrong to have kids and not be married, but sometimes it just happens, and sometimes it's best not that you didn't get married if you don't stay with that person. 'cause, like, then you're dealing with a divorce when you have a kid. Like, breakups when you have a kid aren't fun, obviously, but, like,
No.
you have to also deal with a divorce on top of it, that just makes it way worse.
Yeah. Wow. Dating an Asian isn't that easy, okay? Talk to Mark.
Mark that's when Mark pops in and goes, "Nope."
Uh, we had a hot pot, which is like soup where you have like communal like water bowl where you cook the food, like Korean barbecue, but with soup. And he was just so confused on how to do it.
Aw.
Poor guy.
And also, he didn't teach X-ray about fluff, so I'm kinda disappointed in Mark.
Oh yeah, I still haven't gotten fluff. I should have got fluff when I was in the States. It would have been the perfect place to get fluff.
Someone sent X-ray some fluff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dirty, I swear.
The food, not anything else that you dirty
Oh
birdies
god.
might be thinking of. We're talking about the
Oh,
marshmallow fluff jar, okay?
please.
Please.
PG fluff, okay?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, some people in the chat love flat pot.
I've never
Ooh,
had it. I would try it.
it's good.
Okay.
I so they started having like very like mainstream places like sushi buffets, where you have your own pot and it stays on like a cooker. It's so good, and then they bring you whatever you want to put in your pot, and eat it. But yeah, uh,
I think the chat's confused about fluff. Really? I thought that everyone just
Oh,
knew what
okay.
that was.
Let's teach them some lore. Fluff. Target has fluff. Or no, we saw.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw it
They
at Walmart.
do.
At Walmart. Here, I'll chat. This is what fluff is. Trust me, I learned about it too.
You put it with it's great with peanut butter on a sandwich. Peanut butter and fluff
Yeah.
sandwich will change your life, okay?
So it literally is marshmallow in a jar.
But it's a spread.
Yeah, not as hard. It's more. Well, I mean, I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not as hard. Yeah, we're
She's like, "I
not
don't even know what it is."
we're not shopping at Target. Target, if you wanna be extra fancy. It's a pretty good price. I'd probably try to
It's
get
great
it.
with peanut butter on a sandwich, I'm telling you, peanut butter and fluff.
Mhm. We'll try it. I have a bunch of stuff from Buc-ee's, definitely not in keto, if you can tell it puffed out from Dallas, and,
That's gotta be rough to go I mean, they got a lot of, like, Tex-Mex and
how
stuff,
can you
oof.
not? I mean, like, I went to eat, Mexican food, and it's like, how can I not eat the tortilla chips? The
You
fresh
have to.
and taco.
Oh, when they're nice and hot and fresh,
Oh,
oh,
they're
yes.
so good. Um, hot take, I like asking for instant noodles instead of udon. Ooh, I like a thin noodle. Thin, the yellow noodles? I forgot what they're made out of. They're so good. Now I want noodles.
I don't know. Oh, that does sound good.
People are liking the food talk.
I don't know, we're making everyone hungry. We went from talking about sad stuff for
Oh, I know.
red flags, now, like, peanut butter and
This is this
noodles.
is this is like on a this is a good topic. First date, you wanna talk about food? Ooh, soba noodles, that's good. Oh, egg noodles, yes, that's what it is. The egg noodles, they're so freaking delicious. Now all I want is the, soup with wonton, egg noodle soup. Mm.
Soup does sound good right now.
Mhm, mhm. Isn't it too hot to have soup where you are, though?
Yeah, but I got air. I got the air conditioning.
Uh-huh.
It's always hot here, but right now it's really hot. It's been, like, in the 90s, and it's just gonna keep rising until, like, October probably.
Oh my gosh. When I was in Texas, I will say, I came back home, and I thought the air conditioning here was too warm. I'm not used to it. We kept it at, like, 67 at the Airbnb,
Yeah,
which
that happened. So my first time, like, it wasn't my first time. My first time being in Florida for a bit when I came to visit, I came for, like, a week, and when I went back home to Buffalo, it was dead of winter, but in the house, I was so hot, like, from the heat. Like, it was just too I needed it, like, lower. Or not too hot, I'm sorry. I was comfortable, not hot. So I got weird, like, I it was just like I would expect to, like, be like, "Oh, it's too warm, let's turn it down," but I was like, "No, this is good. Keep it hot."
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
even getting used to it now, like, when I first moved here, I had to keep it on, like, 70, but now I'm on, like, 75.
Oh, that sounds like a perfect temperature for me. 75 is great.
It is.
Mark likes it at 69. I wonder why.
Oh god.
Also, hi, Tax.
Hi,
Welcome.
Tugs. She made it.
I don't know if you're ready. I didn't bring you in, so I'm hoping
I'm
you're
here. Sorry, I'm gonna stay off camera. Your girl is tired, but I made it. I think.
Yay!
Hi,
Yay.
Tugs.
Welcome, Hugs. She was on a super secret mission, and now she's here.
You say that, and I feel like she just like was gonna come on camera with like a box of wine, like or something.
Oh my
like
God, no.
That would be wonderful.
No, I had to. I worked. I voluntarily, but I had to get it. Anyway, I won't go into details. But basically, my bosses are Dorcases, and they all have this big meeting next week, and they're like, "You need to get this stuff done by end of business, an hour before end of business," and that was not happening. So almost 2 hours. Hopefully, we get paid for it. I'm pretty sure we will, but
You should.
Yeah.
If not, put in a grievance.
yeah.
But
So,
anyways, hi, Tugs. We have kind of went through the Lauren Southern thing, but I wanted to give you some time and space on what you thought about that situation.
Yeah.
If you have any thoughts or ideas that you wanted to get across.
Okay, I had thoughts this morning. My brain is now fried. But I find I find some things odd. What I find odd is that she is somehow famous because she went around in England and did like a social experiment back in 2018, which I think is weird. And then she got booted out of England. She's not allowed back, which is also weird. So she's basically on this weird watch list. And this guy worked for the government, was James Bond, so he had clearance, so he knew who she was, and he chose to date her anyway. And then he got mad at her that he couldn't do the things that I feel like we're missing parts of the story. I don't know what
Maybe.
parts, but I feel like we're missing part of this story. And the fact that he blamed his ADHD, like her ADHD, is a little weird. But did he? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I
That's
don't
what we were
imagine.
thinking that too. We're like, we don't know both sides, so it's kind of hard because she could be lying about something.
Yeah, and
Or
here's
like,
the thing: that guy, as a guy like that, with if he truly had the clearance and whatnot that he did, like let's say that was accurate, he is the tippity top of the Secret Service, sneaky people. He is James Bond himself. He lives a life of luxury. Blah blah blah. There's a reason James Bond does not get married in those movies or any of the books, right? Like, first of all, you're putting your family in danger by doing so. And secondly, you know that you're not going to want to give that life up. He's flying around the world, hanging out with beautiful women. He's probably very attractive himself, would be my guess, if this is all real. So why? I don't think she told him who she was, to be honest. That's my, and he didn't really realize, not fully, and he didn't really realize whatever. And what I'm really not understanding is why handing out flyers trying to catch people on their own game, and I'm not going to go in the politics of it, but why that gets you banned from a country. Like, I feel like there's more to that story.
I didn't know she was banned from Britain either, so that adds more to it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I went and read an article about it. She showed up to the UK for something, and they wouldn't let her in, and they basically like grab her. And I don't know if it's the US embassy or what. I didn't get that far. But they basically grab her, they interrogate her for hours and hours and hours, and then just boot her out the door and lock the gate, according to her YouTube video. And I'm like, okay, that is not solely because you were trying to be shady or dodgy or do a social experiment about what if we applied the LGBTQ thing to a Muslim culture or a Jewish culture or whatever, and try to ask, like, flipping the question, like that. Something else happened, and I don't think she's been forthcoming with it. And I think that somebody that high of a clearance, maybe if this is, again, I'm just going off what she's saying, if he had that high of a clearance, they met, they're dating, she wasn't honest about what's going on, and it was too late because they'd already been married or whatever. I feel like there's something weird going on. I don't know, it's weird.
Maybe. I mean, I clearly haven't done any research on her, just this part of the story.
Yeah, so so basically what
either.
she did, at least according to her own video, is in 2018, I don't know if anybody else remembers, but I remember it was like a thing to like, for the LGBTQ community, they would print out pictures of Jesus and be like, Jesus is gay, and the whatever. So she did kind of the same thing, but she did it with Allah and like flipped the script to try and do quote unquote a social experiment, at least according to her words. And she did it all on YouTube. And so then she got in trouble on the street. People were offended. It was a big thing. And they asked her to stop. And there might have been an arrest or a detainment at that point. And then she's not allowed in the UK anymore, according to her. Ian, I don't know, but she said that they will not let her back in. Her travel still has been denied, and she's some fugitive now with the governments. And I'm like, what? For a photo? I highly doubt that. What did you do? You had to have done something or said something or insinuated. Like, what? There's more to this story. And I would like to hear from this guy.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he's never gonna come out there. Like if he really is, a Fed or whatever, like
Oh,
she
yeah,
said,
no way.
we're not gonna
Absolutely
get
not.
his sit down YouTube video
Yeah.
talking.
There's no way.
I would love to though. That would be awesome to hear. But and more so when like me and actually were talking about this before he just gave her that ultimatum that okay, we're moving to Australia or we're gonna get divorced. There had to have been something leading up to that. I don't think anybody is just gonna snap like that. She had
Yeah.
to have seen signs. She didn't talk about that. I mean, I guess she didn't have to talk about it, but like that is a huge red flag. She shouldn't have went. Like that's on her with that. She shouldn't have went. Like I get it. You love him. You have a kid with him, but that's a whole nother country. That's kind of crazy. And the fact that he didn't even supposedly didn't even talk to her about it and just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoothie
There's a
DJ
lot
says
more.
you don't get banned from a country. So what she said, and I didn't get a chance to look into it because today's been bonkers, but what she said was the UK specifically has a law where you cannot defile is not the right word, but I can't think of a different word, so smarter people than me can think of it. Defile the Muslim religion. You can't talk bad about it, you can't make fun of it, you can't. They had it, and I don't know if they still have this law, but they at the time they had the law. And so that is what they used as grounds to kick her out, was that she was basically what is the word? Whatever,
Slandering?
making fun of, talking bad about, degeneracy, whatever of the Muslim religion.
Slandering.
Slander. Thank you.
Yes.
So that's, but even though she was trying to do a social experiment, like, well, what if we did this movement with these different religions? Like, it's okay for Christianity, but it's okay for everybody. At least that's what she says that she was trying to do. So the UK or the police or whoever was like, it's slander. It's illegal here. You can't do that. And that's why they booted her. That's according to her. Anyways.
Mhm. Very interesting. So essentially, she caused trouble, got banned.
Yeah. And
All
I just feel like if he had that high of a clearance, he would have looked her up. Listen, we look up people for less on
As
social
a
media,
woman,
okay?
I
Yeah.
know.
A lot of
Yeah,
things is
social
weird.
media.
Yeah, and if her
A lot.
ADHD was that bad, like she claims, it's very hard for them to parent if she's as bad as she even says that she is. So I feel like there would have been at some point a CPS call, or there would be some article in the news somewhere that kind of talks about that, and maybe it affected her parenting at one point, and that's why they had him. I don't know. There's just something's missing. I don't know what it is, but it's weird. It's just weird.
We'll never know the whole story, unfortunately.
No,
But
it's sad.
I think
I would
there's
like to know.
what we had talked about was just there needs to be more communication between the
Oh,
two
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it just, the red flags, at least on her part, should
Mhm.
have been way earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just, and if it did happen the way it happened, and what she said happened word for word, then he's kind of a douche nozzle, and I feel like he
Yeah.
had the idea of, oh, I want the wife and I want the perfect life, and then he didn't realize that that literally meant he had to give up his James Bond lifestyle, which, to be honest, I'm not sure that I would want to give up either. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. So
Mhm.
that sounds like him just backpedaling and being in panic mode. But
This is interesting then. And I'll maybe ask the guys in the chat, males specifically, would you give up your job for the perfect, from what I'm sure he saw, wife? Or would you keep your job that you absolutely love? The perfect job or the perfect wife?
Because she actually made it seem like it was kind of like his idea in a way, like the way she worded it, like where he was like, "Oh, I'll leave Australia. I want to be with you. Like, I want to marry you. So I'll
Mhm.
move to Canada." So that's why
Yeah.
it's like something had to something definitely. There's no had to. Something definitely happened while they were there. He probably resented her pretty early on, and then to just decide, "Oh, I took this job in Australia." Didn't even talk to her about it. Allegedly is what she's saying, and
Yeah.
then gives that ultimatum. Ultimatums aren't cool in relationships. We had the
Absolutely.
conversation where like if it's like you're in danger because you're like a drug addict or alcoholic, and like if you don't stop this, I'm gonna leave you, or like cheating, stuff like that. That's different. But like in that sense, that's he just cares about his feelings. He doesn't care about you. So that's
Mhm.
you don't give ultimatums like that. You just go. So that was her bad for going to another country. If you really gave her that ultimatum, like, I couldn't do that. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just all a little I don't know, it's all odd. And if everything happened the way that she said, then he's obviously got some problems too.
Yeah.
James says the perfect wife wouldn't ask you to do that. She didn't ask him to. He said
No,
he.
she says that he volunteered. Like he knew
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like, I don't care if you're wanted by all the governments and you're a fugitive. And that's what I wonder too, is like, A, if he didn't really fully believe her, and B, if he did believe her, he thought there was like a dangerous aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, yeah, let's do
literal
this. Like Bonnie and
opposite.
Clyde stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Exactly.
hand in hand, I have no idea if she was attracted to his job specifically, but it sounded like they had talked about values and, they
Mhm.
seemed to align, even though they were on the different sides of that spectrum in terms of their political uh, lifestyles, we'll call it.
Mhm.
So who
Yeah,
knows?
it's all very interesting. And that's the other thing that I thought weird too, is that she knew, right? Like she's talking about this, she won't name him because he's still in the federal government supposedly. I I don't know many, and I've never really met one in person, but I've heard stories. If he really had that kind of a clearance and he really was that kind of a CIA guy, that mysterious stranger, whatever, he wouldn't be talking about it. Like I know women who are married to men in the military that are SEALs, and they know that they're a Navy SEAL, and you may know that you're like, oh, I'm a sniper, or oh, I do intelligence, or whatever, but you have no idea what they do, right? They disappear in the middle of the night, they don't talk about their jobs, they come home. Like it's very covert. So if this guy is really as covert as that or higher, why is he blabbing? I live the James Bond type of life and I get to travel the world and solve the
Well,
bad guys,
I
blah
don't
blah
think
blah.
he necessarily did say that because, well, I don't think from the video, right? Do you remember?
Well, that's what she said. He said. That's what she said. She called it the James Bond lifestyle, and that's what she said that he told her.
Did she? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Not in the maybe not in the
Oh,
video,
yeah,
but
she said that
in
he
the
did like a
post.
boring job. That
Oh,
was,
okay, so she has
Well,
said
that
that.
was
Okay.
after he quit, though. After he
oh,
married her, he got the boring job. He wasn't allowed
I
to
don't
travel
know.
anymore. They degraded his clearance. I'm not saying he's James Bond. She said that. She said that he had this very luxurious lifestyle and had like the highest clearance, whatever that means. And I don't know what his position is, doesn't really matter. But that she said that he had this highest clearance and that he was doing this lifestyle type of thing. And he was willing to give all that up for little old her. And he
Watch,
didn't
he just like
realize.
works at the airport.
Yeah,
Like-
right. And he
Hey,
didn't
I mean, like,
realize.
you get a
And
lot of
that was a
clearance
big
doing that
thing.
stuff.
Yeah, you make good money, but I'm just saying, like, she
Yeah.
he was like upset,
So
even it's like
that's
he's
what
actually just
that's what
security at the airport.
Yeah, so that's what she's saying. Like she said in the video, and if you read her Twitter post, she says that like when they got married, they degraded him, like downgraded him, like they took away a bunch of his clearance. Supposedly, again, we're only hearing
Yeah,
her
she did
side.
say
I
that.
don't know, and she
Mhm.
won't name him, so we can't go bug him. So if that is all the case, like why is he
We'll find
blabbing
it.
about it? I don't know. Whatever. What do I
I don't
know?
think he can blab about it at this
Right.
point.
He wouldn't just be like, oh, let me just sweep you off your feet because
Yeah.
I'm, American James Bond. Like, no.
Oh my
What?
gosh. So
Yeah.
I did ask the chat earlier about this poll, and we're actually at a strong 60% saying they'd rather have the perfect wife than the perfect job.
Ooh.
Very
Aw.
interesting. Very interesting.
It is
I know, like,
interesting.
for me, Mark, as long as he's working hard, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I don't need
Yeah,
much.
and like happiness too, because if you're in a job, like even I mean, I know some people will take a job that provides really well, but they hate it. But if you can find a job that provides at least like medium, like well, and you're like doing okay, and you're not losing your mind, that's also good, especially for guys because guys get so stressed out. But there's also, like I said earlier, the guys feel like they need to provide, so they want the job that makes more money. But with
Yeah,
this guy, the way she's talking about him, it doesn't seem like he cared too much about his family if he's not in his kid's life anymore. So
Right.
that's kind of
Exactly.
thrown out the window there.
that's
It's all
sad.
weird.
It's really sad. Like,
It's
just be
all
told, like,
suspicious.
don't come back to Australia. We're divorced.
Yeah,
Cold. That's
yeah.
real
Yeah,
cold.
it seems like he if she's again because I know the chat was like not coming at us, but they're just like she might not be wrong. She might be. We agree with that. But when she'd said that, he was okay with her, like when she had family members and friends that passed away and she was going to funerals, and at first he wasn't okay, and then he was okay, and then when she went there, he was like, "Don't come back." If that's true, then he really has some issues. Like she went
Mhm.
to go say goodbye to loved
Not
ones, and he's gonna tell her
okay.
that's not okay. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Like if I had a family member that passed away, I want to go, and I'm same with him. Like go on ahead.
Yeah, and she
Mhm.
still tried going back after that. I would have been done with the ultimatum, but
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. There's just
Yeah.
something's off.
I'm sure there were signs throughout that Lauren ignored because he's a bad boy. I think that it might not necessarily have been that he's a bad boy because at that point they were married, that she was making these big life decisions
Mhm.
that, I have a kid. I said I would stand by you through sickness and in health and for your job. And, if she wanted to make the marriage work, what are you going to do? You're in this marriage and you made a promise to God. And if God is someone who is like pretty high up on your list that you want to keep promises for.
yeah, I actually had an aunt who she is just like when you think of like a nice, sweet Christian woman that's like not judgmental but is so strong in her faith, that's her. And she was in a terrible marriage for like 15 years. He was a horrible man, but she was like, the Bible says stick by your husband. Like she was so like, I can't leave him because of her faith. She did eventually. She's out of that marriage now, but he was a horrible man, and she stuck by him for so long. And she was like one of the sweetest, it was terrible to see. Like, she was someone who would just, like, brighten your day even if she was going through hell.
Oh,
But yeah, some people are like that, and I don't know if Lauren was like that too, like, where she said, like, she was very Christian and maybe she wanted to stand by her husband, so I get that, but I don't know, I think she
Mm.
made the wrong choice going to Australia with him.
exactly. That should have.
That right there was the first bad choice she made. Because I wouldn't say marrying him's a bad choice because on paper, he seemed perfect, and he told her everything she wanted to hear, and she thought that they were in love, so can't really blame her for that.
No, no, and it's hard because, like, I don't know, a lot of people want to blame the woman, and at least in her portrayal, it does seem like she literally probably blames a lot of women for the reason relationships don't work,
Mhm.
and now she's part of that, so to speak.
Yeah. At least she kinda, like, admits that too. She's like, "I know I was a poster child for this," at least she's, like,
She
taking ownership,
knows.
like, in that sense a little bit, but, again, we don't know if she's telling us the whole truth, like, because it even makes her look bad too, like, the trying to stay with him after he got mad at her for going to say goodbye to family, like, "Don't come back." It's like, "Don't you wanna see your son? What's wrong with you?" I think about that, like, how could you okay, dismiss her, but don't you want your kid in your life? I don't
Mhm.
understand people
Mhm.
that aren't a part of their kids' lives, it's so sad.
Yeah, both I believe are so at fault in this.
Oh, yeah.
No
Yeah.
one's looking good in this
No.
at all.
And I think
No.
there's more to it. There's something we're missing.
We need his story.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll write a book in, like, 10 years, we'll find out. Tell-all book.
Oh my gosh. So we do have a couple super chats. Let's get to those. Lajman for 20 says, "Don't take advice from me. I've only been married 33 years."
Ooh,
And
I
I
love
mean, 33
that.
years
I'll
is
take
great.
all the advice from you. Please give me all the advice.
I I think that everyone's advice, take it with a grain of salt, even from the experts of people who have been in relationships, because not everyone
Mhm.
will react in a relationship very similarly. So, gotta learn what's actually really good out there, what's not, and what will actually work for you specifically.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Crash Mondo for $5. Tugs. 98% of people with a clearance are not James Bond.
I know. I'm going by what she said. I'm also going by the only experience I have with that, which is friends of a girlfriend of mine who dated a SEAL, and he like literally couldn't tell her nothing. She'd be like, "Well, how was it? Was the weather warm?" And he'd be like, "Meh." Like he literally couldn't say anything. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I know. I don't
Hokies for 5 says, "I'm upset that Tugs' secret mission did not involve her showing up on stream with the cup."
Oh, listen, that thing I heard is heavy. They have to engrave it too. I'm so excited. The
Who
parade is on
won?
Saturday. Duke and I are gonna try go down there. We won the Stanley Cup. It's our
Oh,
first cup. We've
congratulations.
only been a team
Nice.
for 6 years. Everybody's mad at us. Whatever. I don't care. We won. It was so
Bet
fun.
you
Everyone's
most of them are
mad.
Canadians on that team.
Yeah. There's a lot of hockey teams that have been around much longer than we have that are raging on social
That is
media right now.
pretty freaking awesome, though.
It
Congratulations.
was so fun.
Yes,
I have my
congrats.
shirt and everything. I'm gonna wear it when we stream tomorrow. No Man's Sky.
Noise. Oh, maybe next week.
Oh, okay. Or when I stream Diablo. Either way.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, Daniel says the cup is like 35 pounds. That's a honker.
Well, oh yeah. Okay, so that's not that heavy, but how tall is it? Because your girl's only 5'2". This could be
Taller
It's
than
gonna be
me.
bigger than Tugs.
it's gonna be
Yes.
almost my size.
You're a small person too, Wicked. So
I'm
Yeah,
5'1"
she's
I'm
so
5'1" and a
tiny.
half. Tugs is just a little bit taller than you, like by that much.
Smidge, yeah, we're pretty even.
Crash Mondo for 5 says you have to disclose all familial relations to get a clearance. He didn't have a choice but to disclose his
Yes.
marriage.
That is correct. He
I
had to
think that-
disclose it to his boss, but he didn't have to tell her what he was doing. Maybe I worded it wrong. That's what I meant.
I mean, he might not have told her everything about what he did, but it was
Mhm.
enough to know, like, she knew that he was of the opposite side completely
Yeah.
of what
Now,
she
is he American or was he Australian?
Australian.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe he just like, I don't know, got a job in Australia.
Yeah.
I figured he was Australian, but I don't know.
I
I
do
don't
love
know
the
anything
accent.
about this except for that video.
Yeah, and I
It
don't know
was-
what the rules are over there government wise. So
Probably freaking crazy. That's another thing. I like no matter how like whether she's lying or not, I feel terrible for her that she was stuck over there during the whole
Mhm. Oh God, yeah.
Mhm.
oh
We do have a Streamlabs. JH Schwalbuck for 2912 says, being a duck, a good duck, soft and cuddly, just everything roll off your back. That's how you make it work.
okay.
Okay.
Did someone just send us a poem? I don't know.
JH Schwalbuck, I'm glad you didn't talk about your wife kicking your butt or about your penis falling off. As you usually but I think that what he is trying to say here is try not to take things too hard, too at heart. Be life is difficult and between the two of you. If I don't know, Mark might have said something or I might have said something to him that might have been a bit rough, but then you apologize and then move on with it. And I
You
think
gotta
that
pick your battles, especially
Yes.
in a relationship. Like you
Oh my
can't just get mad over. I mean, like especially us, like as women, we tend to, we're built to get upset a bit easier, but sometimes you just gotta shove it down. Guys do too, but
Yeah.
you gotta pick your battles. That was something that my mom's friend who has been married for like 50 years. She's older. She's like an older sister to my mom, even. That's something that she's always told me. She's like, pick your battles. That's one advice I'm gonna give
Mhm.
you all the time in a relationship. Pick your battles. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Like I could probably be that wife that talks about my husband not cleaning all the time. But am I going to complain in the end? Really, truly? Nah,
No.
nah. That's not a battle I want to pick. That's not the worst thing in the world a person can do.
Mhm.
Nope.
So, find what things will work in a marriage, and I think it'll make you so much happier. So much happier.
Yes.
We got Cajun Corey here for $9.99. FYI, I'm stepping away from the stream a bit. Sadsies. Another
Bye,
sales
Corey.
attempt at a relationship. Oh no. And a bad weekend in Dallas. I've given up looking for love. Makes no sense for me to be here anymore.
Oh, Corey.
Corey, just because you're hurt. I think you can
Come
learn
back.
a lot from talking about things like this.
Yeah. Talking it out is definitely
I'm
helpful.
so sorry.
I'm sorry, Corey.
And
We'll
look,
miss you. Get back here.
we
We can't stay away. He loves us too
look at
much.
it. Guys,
We'll be back.
guys, how many times have you hit on a girl and how many times did it work?
Should we do a poll?
I mean, I don't know percentage wise, but in the
You don't
chat,
have to do a poll, but
like
no,
1 out of
just
10, 1 out of 20. I don't know. I think that if you're looking for a relationship, it'll happen when you least expect it. But that's just me.
yeah, that is how it works for the most part. I would
You
say.
also have to try, like, if you're trying in one area,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to the bookstore every single time and find somebody who likes books. Well, there's many people out there that like books, right?
Uh-huh.
But and you failed like more times than you would care to admit in that one spot. Like, then try go something else. Like, okay, I also
Yeah.
really like hiking. So then you join like a
Yeah.
hiking club. You go outside and just bump into people, whatever, just
Yeah.
hang
Yes.
somewhere else.
Corey needs to be the boys right now. Hell yeah.
He
Boys'
does.
night.
Smooth. That's actually a really good rate. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Yeah, that's
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Same thing with you, Frank. 10% here. I agree with this. Work on yourself first. The
Yeah, you could
women
do
come
that too.
after.
Absolutely.
You gotta be
Absolutely.
because the other thing is if it hurts that much to shoot your shot and oh my god, Ian.
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 I don't believe that.
Hey, he might be Mr. James Bond, actually.
Right,
Yeah,
Ian,
right?
do you have something to tell us?
Yeah, yeah. But in any case, if it hurts that much to get that for it to not work, I don't know if you are actually 100% okay with yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Well,
eh,
that too. Like, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how I met Duke.
Yeah.
So it
Right.
was not necessarily when I least expected it, but it was, I mean, yeah, yes and
You
no.
weren't
But
like
it was,
looking really?
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
definitely a big healing
Here we
adventure
go.
that I was on.
I've
So
failed over 100 times. Yep. And wow, Hokies.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Do not
All
miss
right.
that.
If he comes to any meetups, we gotta look out.
Over 400.
Come
I mean,
by.
we met Hokies. He did not
I
have
haven't yet. Well, I'm glad you didn't chloroform them. Oh my god.
we made it through. We made it through.
You made it.
Hokies was awesome. Hokies was like he was around Krista most of the time helping her with stuff. So I appreciate that because Krista, that was her first time traveling, being in a different country. So it was really nice for him to help her out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy. I haven't met him in person yet, but I'm sure he'll be maybe at the
Mhm.
next meetup.
Hokies
There.
is awesome.
Good Brunch says you weren't looking was Duke.
No, not at first. We just met, like, we met at a wedding, and he had just kind of ended a relationship and was doing his thing, and I definitely was very single, and we just kind of met and hung out, and then months later it was like, so this is what I want. And now I can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You're stuck with them.
Yeah, and you can't get rid of me either. I'm like a suction cup.
But yeah, Corey, just tend to your wounds, get better, and then I can't speak. Work on yourself.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin and happy being alone before you can be happy with someone else.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if someone is filling that void that you have in yourself, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing for you.
No, because then you're lost when they leave. I know a lot of us, especially like younger, you done that, like teenage years for sure. I'm sure a lot of us, even early 20s, have gone through that because you're learning. It's a learning curve
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
relationships. They're all
And I
different.
mean, I've tried to shoot my shot. It was like odd at first, and then you're like,
Oh, rejection
okay.
hurts.
It really hurt the first time.
It does. It does.
Oh God, it hurts for us too. Okay, it may not happen as
Yeah.
often, but it does happen, and it's not
It
fun.
does. It does.
Have you guys shot your shot before?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
What
I've
about
done it.
you?
I've done it in person. I've done it like via text with like a guy friend. Oh yeah. And they're like, and they, especially on text, they do like this weird guy awkward thing where they don't answer the question, but it's a no. Like it's because they feel bad. They feel bad and they don't want to hurt your feelings. So they give you kind of a non-committal, but deep in your heart that it's a no.
I'm just like, well, thanks. I
Like,
feel great now.
ouch.
Yeah, ouch.
You're like, oh, whoopsies. You missed 100% the shot. Okay, congrats to you. That's a
I
good
did get the end all be all. That's very true.
Canadian. And sometimes it's worth it. You learn a little bit about what the interaction, and then maybe there was something that you did that you could have done better. I don't know. Try to reflect on that.
Yeah.
I had to.
I want to clarify something too, because I think thank you. I think we modern people have kind of lost this, like we get confused and, oh, well, were you looking? Listen, first of all, nobody ever really stops looking, right? You just go from actively searching somebody out because you have a void to fill, whatever that void is, you just pick one, it doesn't matter. You're lonely, or maybe you have a childhood trauma, or just anything, right? You actively looking is I need to meet somebody. I have to do this. I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm so lonely. I just want this hole in my heart to be filled. That's actively looking. But you never really truly stop looking. You just get to a
Mhm.
place where it's like, you know what? If I meet somebody, I meet somebody. You know?
Mhm.
If I go to this place and I bump into someone and then we hit it off and it works out, cool. But I'm not going to be like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh
On
my
the
god, I must
prowl.
know. I must meet them. I must hang out with them. I must. That there's a totally different thing." So,
Yeah.
yes, I've always been looking. I was looking when I met Duke, but it wasn't a need. Does that make I don't know if I'm making sense,
Yeah.
but
No,
Yeah.
that
it's
makes
not a
sense.
need. And that's
Um,
what made it work for both of us is it was both more of like, "Oh, oh, we have this bond. Like, oh, this could be something." And
yeah.
then it was something, you know? So that's yeah.
Shieldwall asks a pretty good question, like a direct approach, or you mean you gave us signals and the guy didn't pick up? Direct
Oh,
approach.
both. Yeah, both. I've definitely done both.
Absolute direct approach. It was
Absolutely.
Guys, listen, I will tell this to everybody that and men do not pick up on signals, guys. They are a direct black and white sort of
yeah.
situation in that. Okay, you got to be like, "Listen, I think you're hot and I want to go on a date with you." And they'll be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Huh, me?
Let's just say
Why me?
I have a 0% batting rate.
Yeah. The cute little like side games we do to try to get them to figure it out don't work.
Oh, this is just getting really sad on our part. Crash for $5 says, I'm actually convinced he was playing it up. As I said earlier, most
Mm.
are nerds. He did have to stay quiet, but you can easily play up that mystery.
Oh,
Ooh,
absolutely.
maybe.
Definitely.
Who knows? We'll never 100% know, or even know it all. Maybe one
Yep.
day I'll become friends with Lauren.
And she'll get the real dirt.
Maybe.
Yeah. That'd be
That'd be
nice.
cool. I mean, she is Canadian, but
Canadian,
also
right?
on the other side of the country. So not likely to.
Go make friends with her, ex girl. Be besties. Get the
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Smoking Patriot for $9.99 says, I will say this. Women say shoot your shot with no skin in the game, not knowing what men have to go through. Well,
This is
you've heard
true.
it here.
He's not wrong.
Certain countries are even making making in-person approach basically illegal.
Oof. Well, there's the whole like Me Too thing going on too.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Mhm. That's
It
I
is.
mean, that's the
Yeah.
wild thing. It's like people are saying, go ask a girl out. I want a man who can take charge, but then they turn around and be like, what are you, a predator?
Like that one girl in the parking lot was like, do not approach me.
Oh my god, that girl.
That was so funny. Oh my
Do not
god.
approach me, you weirdo. In the Smith's grocery parking lot. You're like, well, maybe you dropped something, you
Yeah, right.
Lucas. Goodness.
I think so. There was like parody videos that people made. Like this one guy was like had a wallet and was like just put it in his pocket. Like
Yeah,
fine
I
then.
saw that.
Well,
Hey, ma'am, you dropped your oh, never mind. I guess I'll keep this $700 then. Thanks.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I mean, shield wall, where's that message? I don't see it here. Ugh. It's dangerous for men to misconstrue a signal. The threshold to be labeled a creep is very low. Absolutely. It is. But
It's
you
true.
can slowly approach a situation, sure. It's been a long time since I've dated. So Tugs or Wicked, if you have any advice on that for men or like a way to not be as creepy, I don't know.
I
Not
think something that I think is, and I've dealt with this a lot in my life, like when most girls they're gonna be clear with their intentions with you. They're not gonna like really play hard to get. At least in my experience, I know I don't do that, and most of my girlfriends, it's like if we like you, we're gonna let you know. So guys take it as hard to get when they seem uninterested and they just like keep going and going and going. It's like no, if you keep going and going and going and you're not getting anything, just give up. If she's interested, she'll come to you. That's some
Mhm.
advice for me because I used to I had guys that would do that and they would literally say like, "Oh, you're playing hard to get." And I'm like, "No, I'm playing get away from me right now." Like,
Yeah.
it's like no, yeah, I'm very transparent. Like, just don't. I used to hate that so much. I haven't dealt with it as much, like getting older, but like teenagers and early 20s. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I had one guy take my phone and text himself from my phone, and I had to change my number.
Oh my God, I do miss those days where you had like the guys that were
I miss
so.
those days.
So listen, back in my day, okay,
Back in
you
my
used to
day.
be, and I'm not saying this for every guy. I wasn't like a witch about it, but there are some guys that just are so, you could tell them no in 18 different languages. There could be a
Yeah.
neon sign. You get their favorite basketball player to be like, buddy, move on, and they still won't leave you alone. So there used to be the rejection hotline, and you would just give them that phone number, and it was a normal phone number. Like it wasn't like an 800 number or anything weird. It was a normal phone number, and they would call it, and it'd be like, you have reached the rejection hotline.
I remember
You're
that.
getting this number because I mean, there was a whole thing, right? I
What?
don't know whatever happened to it, but modern
Let me
cell
look it
phones
up.
have ruined that, because now you can't even give a fake phone number because, and I'm not saying you're wrong for it, because I get it. The guys immediately will call you or text you and be like, well, let's see if this number is real. You're like, God dang it. Damn it.
Ouch.
Mhm.
Ouch.
Yeah. I miss those days. And men would do it too. Like I saw guys use the rejection hotline for some women that were being extra, whatever word you want to use, in the bar too. Like, so
Gosh,
it's not just,
I think the easiest thing for me if I were to date now would be I don't want to give my number because that's personal, but I'll give you my
like an Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Back when it was just personal Instagram, I wouldn't give my public one if I were to date now. Oh no. It's like a gateway into knowing who I am.
Okay, so you looked it up. So the phone number, I don't know if it's still active, but have at it, friends, if you guys want to try. It was calls only. Text messages did not work. It was a 605 area code, so it was like a legit phone number. And then they came out with a text version, and I don't know if it's still, but you would text them and like this is an example. They have like a screenshot of one. It says, "Roses are red, violets are blue. This is the rejection hotline, and this poem doesn't even rhyme."
Classy. I like it.
Oh,
I love
Classy.
it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think dating's just so hard for men, and women have this expectation of men to come up to them. And then we have that whole Me Too thing. It's I like living in a small town for that reason. There's less we are
Yeah. So, but nowadays with the way phones are, like, and you can't even use, like, for a while, you used to be able to use the excuse that, like, oh, my phone doesn't turn on until after 9 p.m. Like,
oh
Oh yeah, my minutes.
because
I
then you
don't
get
have
the free
minutes.
calls,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have
you
minutes.
can't do it.
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, I found Mark through Tinder, so it was
Yeah, you were a Tinder story.
I was
I
a
am a
Tinder
met in person story,
I
which
would
is
love to have
interesting.
the met in like, that's the rare thing now is the met in person
Yeah,
story. It
it
used to be
really
the
is.
Tinder story. So,
Met in person at a wedding. We're so cliche. It's gross.
very cliche. See, I've never have you ever gone to a wedding and then, like, actually dated someone at a wedding besides you, Tugs? Because clearly
Clearly, you
One
have.
better hit me over.
I've
One for
never.
one. So
I've never
No.
so no? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Because I feel like you talk about this with guys, and guys in the chat, please verify if this is true, that guys can smell the desperation off of women at weddings.
Especially the bridesmaids that are single.
Yeah. Is that true? Please tell me because I have no idea. I mean, I had a guy hit on me. I was in a relationship and I told him, I was like, yeah, sorry, but I personally have never dated anyone.
My cousin, he's a guy. He hooked up with our other cousin in another state's best friend at a wedding. Like she was
weddings are
so-
such debauchery. I love it.
yeah, it was, and he was like, yeah, I hooked up with a girl in a different area code. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Oh.
Like, you're such a
And
pimp. Good for you.
nowadays, like, everybody has a different area code. You can't even flex that. Like, back
I
in the
know.
day, like, oh, I'm checking all the states off my list. And no.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, chill, relax. It was like Ohio, like calm down.
Oh my god. Okay, so we have a couple of people who did date at from a
Yay.
wedding.
So
Some
I'm not
hookup.
abnormal. Yay me.
The reverse is also true. So, like, for a girl to hunt a guy at a wedding,
Oh, absolutely. Listen, those bachelorettes, the maid of honors and the bridesmaids and stuff, that if they're single, they're on the hunt.
Are
because
they?
weddings are so romantic and I just am so lonely and I must meet a guy. And surely this best friend that I've had for ever and ever that made me a bridesmaid must have a single friend somewhere, even though she's never introduced me to him before.
Yeah.
This is true. Tara's like, weddings, everyone is dressed nice. There's alcohol. Usually women are thinking, when is it my turn?
Yeah, exactly. When's it my turn? Maybe if I catch the bouquet, it'll be, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Weddings
I
are.
will say, at least it's somewhat verified that this person might be a good person being in the bachelorette group,
That's true.
The circle, the inner circle.
the inner
Yeah.
circle. So who knows? But that's
It's
not
very
always
wedding
true.
crashers. Okay. It's very wedding.
Yeah, it is. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah.
D-Day's like so cynical. I avoid weddings since it's
Nobody's
possible.
not wrong. Oh my God.
He's
I mean,
not
not every wedding. It depends on the wedding, but a lot of them, the girls, especially if they're single. Oh man, it's yeah.
Paul, this is actually true. This is a great time to know how desperate they are. The most desperate one goes for the bouquet.
I caught the bouquet at my brother's wedding, but I was a teenager and they did it like different. I didn't mean to. Like they did it to where like busted open and then like whoever picked up the one with like the tie on it, like the ribbon. And I was just like, oh, it broke. And I picked it. The one's like, you got it. And I was like, oh,
"Ooh,
I was ready to I tried to pass it off. I was like, no.
I don't want it.
I
Take
don't
it."
want this. You take it.
Oh my gosh. D-Day for 2 says, you guys seen it the It's a Gundam Tinder experiment. Is this like a
No.
video?
I haven't seen that. Do you see the videos? Have you ever seen? I know actually, I don't know if Tugs does, but I know actually watches some of Ava and Preacher. Have you ever seen the videos they do on like the dating videos, like where you have to like hit a button if you're not interested, like right away, like a girl will be like, so
Oh
what's your
yes.
sign? Like
I
the
love
girl will
that
be like, what's
show.
your sign? They'll be like, oh, I'm a Scorpio, and she hits it. He's like, really? She's like,
I
like-
loved. I've never heard of that show before. I think Brett
It's
Cooper
so
did a
funny.
reaction video to it too. Somebody did. Or maybe it was Pearl. It doesn't really matter. But I need to find out the name of that show because it's like
I
a
know.
glass box in the middle with the button. And some of these
Mhm.
girls, I mean, most of these girls were a hot mess.
yeah.
It's like,
Like I saw one that was like talking about like I had their kid, right? Like, oh, you have a kid, and it was a mom that had like a few kids, and I think the guy I guess was like, I have one too or something, and then he was talking about a dog, and she hit the button right away because she like actually had kids, and he was like, are you for real? And she's like,
He's
yeah.
like, my dog is my kid. And you're like,
Or it was the other way around. I think it might have been. I can't remember. Either it was a guy that had a kid, but it was really
That's funny.
yeah, chat. I would love to hear this. Is it cringe when a person refers to their dog, cat as their children?
Is there fur
no,
baby?
especially if you don't have like actual kids. No, it's your fur baby.
Because
I used to say that
definitely
I had when I had a dog. She's passed. I don't have her anymore, but I used to say that was my baby. Like that's my baby.
do. Mm-hmm.
It's not cringy. It depends on how far you go with it. Some people could make it kind of cringe, like in that sense. Like what I'm talking about, they were talking about it like they had a child, like really in depth, and then said that it was like a terrier or something. So like hit the button, like wait a minute, no, that was weird.
Oh my god! If it's a dude, it is very cringe.
Yeah, I can't remember. I gotta find the video now. I can't remember if it was a guy or a girl that were talking about their animal, but the opposite person, the opposite gender, was talking about their like 3 sons.
Oh my God, D, I see your comment. You're not wrong. It's mostly us white girls. They're like, oh my God, my fur baby. I love my
I mean, I would call them fur baby, but they're my kids. Like they're my babies. I take care of
my
them.
fur baby, and I put them
They
in
love me.
sweaters, and they fly first class. And yeah,
Oh, I don't know
it's
about
always the
that.
white
That's
girls.
too far.
Oh
I mean,
god, Paris Hilton has a mansion for her dogs. I seen a video on
Yes,
that. Like it's like
does.
a big doghouse, like huge with TVs and air conditioning in it and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? It's bigger than my apartment. What the?
Wow. Okay. Can I be Paris Hilton's dog?
Seriously.
It's pretty sweet, actually. Don't be a crazy cat lady. Oh, she crazy for sure. On the bridesmaid question here, our topic, Tara for $2 says, question to ladies, how many times a bridesmaid? That we've been one?
I've only been a bridesmaid like twice, I think.
Yeah, same. Twice. I was twice.
Two,
That's it.
3 times.
I've always been the single wedding guest. It's just really rough.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've always gone to weddings in a relationship. I've never actually been single.
Oh, it's
was
different. This will be your sister's wedding this year will be the first one I've gone to with a date.
Mm.
Just a date?
Yeah, just a date.
Just a date.
I've always been single. Every wedding I've gone to, now that I think about it, I've always been single. That's super awkward.
Oh, same tugs.
Hey, single wedding people unite.
I don't know how to be a single wedding guest. That
You
oh
get really
gosh.
schmammered and you flirt with all the guys. That's how you do it. And then cry in the bathroom because you're
Oh,
never
well.
gonna find anybody.
I can do that. I'm a girl, right?
I can do that. I'm allowed.
Although I'm old at this point, no one's gonna want to date me if I were single.
I would do it with you. So
Smoo,
Well-
if you want to date, we can find you one. I heard a little birdie on who you might like.
on Smoo, Smoo has a crush. Ooh.
Oh, maybe. Ooh, we're such girls right now.
This is very true
Ooh.
too. No. There he is. Unbreaded, you hook up at weddings. Yes. And now I have a permanent someone to hook up with at weddings. So excited.
And is
He
it
saw
actually
my
easy to be single at a wedding? I don't know.
Fox Theater bathroom, here we come.
What was that? What did you say?
Duke said, I said he's not even paying attention. He said, "Yes, I am." His sister's wedding. He's like, we're gonna get in the bathroom and hook up.
Oh, okay. Well, what a wild couple.
It's gotten weird. It's gotten weird.
Oh my gosh. I'm
I love
excited.
weddings.
I have 2 weddings this summer, and they're going to be very, very different, these weddings.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite part about the weddings is seeing how different they are.
Yeah. I like the decoration, though. I'm such a girl. And yes, you have to have open bar.
Agreed.
If you don't have an open bar at your wedding, I'm so judging.
Have you ever
My
been
dad
to a
had
dry
that at his
wedding?
wedding. Oof.
Non-open bar?
No, it was an open bar, and my dad's side of the family is Puerto Rican, so it got wild.
Oh, good Lord.
He got
I
drunk. He
bet.
was like, "I'm gonna kick anybody's ass who doesn't chill out." He got on the microphone. He was so drunk. I was like, "Oh my god, sit down. Go to the hotel. Get out of here."
That's hilarious.
Are you proposing to me online, Mark?
Aw, I will say, you do need to have like another wedding so that I can come. And
I know.
we can party.
We were supposed to go to a wedding together. Be so sad about that, Tugs.
Me, I
I
know.
know. Oh well.
Couldn't make
Stuff
it work.
happens. Here, Pete Shoemaker. I've been to 2 dry
Oof.
weddings recently. The worst, because it makes the wedding last so much longer. There's something about having to be extra uber nice, and especially if you're not around friends at your table, and if you're not drunk, it's really awkward.
The last wedding I went to, which really wasn't that long ago, the bartender was hitting on me, and I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna." I started sending my friends up to get drinks. I was like, "That's weird." Like immediately, like let me come up and get a couple drinks first. Like I wasn't interested, but like even if I was, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of weird. I'm like, let me like get 2 drinks. Like the first, he's like, "You look incredible," and he was like going hard. And I was like, "Okay."
Okay,
Now I'm gonna send my
so
guy friends up to get the drinks from now on. It was an open bar, so I was like, "Go get me another one."
let's
I don't want to go
analyze
talk
this.
to him.
How many times or what compliments did he give you, and how often?
Well, it was just like weird because like bartenders are supposed to be nice. I get that. I love chatting with bartenders. I've had some really good conversations with bartenders, but it was like immediately, and I was like, okay, that's like, how do you know that I'm not like here with somebody? It's a wedding, like. It was just kind of odd, and he's just like immediately that's the first thing he said to me. He was like, "You look incredible," and I was like, "Well, thank you." I'm not like stuck up. I wasn't mean. I was like, "Well, thank you," but then he just like I don't know. He just kept kind of like just going hard. I went up for a second drink, and then he just as soon as I came up, he would ignore everybody else, and he was just like right on the bar up to me, and I was like,
Oh,
so I was like, okay, it's
too
kind
much
of weird.
attention.
Too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me come up. I would get it. Like, say I went up even for the second time, and then you could be like, you look incredible. I'd be like, oh, well, thank you. Like, I still said thank you. I wasn't mean, but like to be so upfront, like right away.
There you go. Aaron says bartender's first requirement is to be professional. If they're a guy, women bartenders can be flirty. It's a business thing.
Yeah, women. I had one of my best friends was a bartender, and she was very flirty, and she made very good money.
I think that it's just the nature of being a man and a woman at this job. And if you're a male bartender and you really like a girl, I think, start with a nice hi. What's your name? If you want to get to know the guest, and do it with everyone and just be like, remember the girl's name. And then that way, when I hear a guy remember my name who is just a random on the street, type of thing. Maybe not on the streets per se, but like, yeah. Then they're like, oh my gosh, you remember me. That's so sweet. And then that helps build rapport. And then maybe by the third drink, you're like, I just want to say, and don't say you look beautiful, you have nice eyes or something like that. Choose something that's not specifically a sexual area. Oh my God, that necklace is so gorgeous. Or something like that. Or that
Your
tattoo.
hair looks great.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that I would like more like. I don't know. But that's just my thoughts on it. But hey.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't mean, you know what I mean? Like I had to, but then I just he made it like to where I had to start sending my guy friends up to get me the drinks. So he scared me away.
Yeah. He did not see the signs. Oh my God, Frank, you do not say this.
No.
Do not. You have to know the right person to say that too.
I'm gonna use that on Duke. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm gonna use that on Mark. Oh God. Shucks, a girl dated me because I said her name is the same as my dog. I felt so stupid after saying that. I guess it stuck with her. Maybe, I don't know.
Sometimes the silly, like quirky things, girls like that, especially if you're not like really trying and you're just being yourself. Especially if you feel stupid after you say it and it wasn't like intrusive, you know, like that. Girls like that.
Wait, says, this is a suggestion. Your nostrils are so free from obstructions. Wow.
Oh no. Mark and X-ray are flirting. I think we should all go.
Oh my God. Mark is in the chat right now. I don't think that the legs or the nostril thing would work on me. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna use that line on X-ray girl the next time I see her because I'm shorter than she is, so I can see in her nostrils.
Oh,
I'll let you guys know how it
my
goes.
heart. You have my heart. Oh my goodness. So Darian Murphy for $4.99. X-ray, your segment on the Star Wars trial was so funny. For those who don't know, I went on Critics Court on Film Threat, and let's just say my father, Alan Ng, was not happy with the way Judge Gore conducted himself in Dallas, looking at his daughter's boobs. So you should go over there and check out that video.
Listen, do we blame him? Your boobs are fantastic.
Yeah. It was so funny because I leaned over to the picture and I didn't even notice. Like, I was just like trying to get in the frame. And then I looked down as I was like leaning away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he's like, I wasn't.
Oh no.
And then,
D-Day said, what?
oh, what is this? Met my wife by pinching her cheeks. I don't know why I did it, but it left an impression on her. Haha, I can never meet people normally. I don't know if it'll work on a person today.
I don't recommend this in modern day people, but I mean, you'd have to really just get the girl's vibe, right? This is obviously what happened here. He was like, I get this girl is going to be perfectly okay with this, and it worked.
Oh my God. I missed today's episode. You should check it out. Steve White, this is something he's used. There's this tried and true. I really love how your chromosomes have combined. If she's like like an intellectual girl, I think that would be a great line. I'm just saying. Oh goodness. Here, I'm gonna go this. Ian So Forth for $10 says, if a bartender told me my nostrils look clear, I'd be like, effing A, bro, high five. So if you want to hit on Ian, guys, when you are in the UK, use this.
Also, talk about sloops. He loves sloops.
Oh, yes, sloops for sure.
Wrong button. Here's a good one. My buddy uses nice knees for a first flirt. No one compliments the knees. Actually, I've actually heard a guy do this in person, and it worked. Because it's really different.
And you remember for sure.
It's super different. And two, it's kind of a weird thing you don't think about until somebody points it out. And you're like, oh, I just realized that I may have always been self-conscious about my knees. Thank you so much.
I think not like weird in a bad way. It could be in a bad way, but like this maybe silliest compliment you've ever gotten from a guy, like physically wise. Mine was my ears. I've had that a couple of times. Like, yours are so cute and little. I'm like, don't touch, but thanks. Like, they go to like grab, like, they're just so tiny. They're so cute. I'm like, okay, thanks.
I don't
That to
know.
me is the most, like, it didn't bother me, but it was just very random.
Trying to think. I don't think I've had anything that stood out clearly.
Mark's gonna say something probably. If he's
Mark,
still in the
well,
chat.
no,
What do you like about X-ray girl? That's
his
random.
he'll say that I'm my boobs. That's not
a very
really
man
random,
thing
though.
to say.
Not very
You got some cute elbows, girl.
I got a cute weenus. Oh my god. Frank says nice yum yums.
Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Danny DeVito says nice knees. What do you do? Oh, I'd be scared actually. Scared
I
toad.
think Danny DeVito would probably, he's eye level with my knees, so I'd be a little.
Oh my god. Are you telling me this? That I said this? Are you doing this to me? I have a nice dong, a great dong. Well, that's awkward.
That's awkward. I'm gonna end the stream. I was kidding.
Smooth the DJ for 5 British pounds, by the way. A little bird told
Is that
you.
British pounds? I don't think it is.
That's our European pounds. Oh my god.
I was like, is that they changed their logo?
Euros. I'm okay.
Get
I
it
swear.
together.
Extra girl, a little bird told you I have a crush, huh? You are the little bird. I wonder who that might be.
Well, now I want to know. Spill
Oh,
the tea.
what did you say? Sorry.
I said spill the tea.
Well, that's up to him to spill. I'm not going to spill it. Or you can go to the stream and find out.
Which stream? Whose stream? This stream?
My stream.
Ooh.
From earlier. So
Okay, I'm on.
there you go. There you go. If you want to find out who it is,
Dun, dun, dun.
go over
Mark,
there.
is Mark outing you as a rainbow
That's the
brigade?
best song of any woman I've ever married, honey.
Well, it is June, so he's just trying
Yeah,
to, you know.
it's like, what's
Yeah,
going
we're
on
trying to
here?
get some social currency.
I've been saying that all month. Anytime someone says anything remotely, like anything like that, I'm like, it's June. It's okay.
Hey, I mean,
That's supposed
the
to be.
Vietnamese money is the dong. Maybe he likes the dong. He's just
You
like,
talking about her money? I knew it.
Married her for her money.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's
I didn't know he was that short. So yeah, he does come right around my knees. So that's cool.
Well, there we go. I mean,
Awkward.
If you
Don't
like
eat
knees
me.
fondled, take Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is definitely trying to figure out if. he
Oh
can
my
hit
god. Az is attracted to me. Yeah, as long as I have the biggest dong ever. He's a size queen. Oh, there, he's admitted it. I have a big dong. He's hot. He just likes me to rain money on him.
Make
So
it
we do have a
rain.
couple questions from the chat, Miss Wicked. So just about you. What was the main reason you decided to become a content creator?
Well, it's not really like interesting story. My friends, they told me about Twitch, and they like, I really enjoyed playing video games, and they said, you know, you talk a lot, you're really good at chatting, so you should give it a go. And I was like, all right. So I just gave it a go, and that's what started the like beginning of content creating. And then as far as YouTube and doing the whole podcasting and interviewing people and stuff like that, I just my mic just moved.
Oh no.
I just it's my thing's like broken. It doesn't stay up. There it goes.
Just like
I wanted to do more, you know, kind of branch out and do more than just gaming talk. So that was kind of just like a test, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
You're killing it, honestly.
Mhm.
Thanks. I'm really enjoying it. So I think that's also why, because if you do it and you're not enjoying it, it's not gonna work out. But I'm having fun getting to know more people and getting to know new people. It's great. So far, everyone that I've had on, I've really gotten along with too, which makes it easy. So
Which
keep
is
it
awesome.
like that.
So here's another one. How long have you been into gaming?
Since I was 4. That's the first time I played. Yeah, the first game I ever played when I was 4 was Street Fighter, and I lost on Super Nintendo. I figured out how to do Chun-Li's kick, and my older brother, who's 5 years older than me, he was so mad because I kept beating him because I learned how to do the fast kick. He's like, she's cheating, Mom. I was just play with your sister. Stop. And I was like, yeah, I'm beating them. Yeah, that's what started it. So yeah,
You're
4. I mean, I wasn't
toxic.
hardcore into it, but I would say like 6, 7 is probably when I was hardcore into it. But I started at 4. My
Mhm.
brother was a big
Oh,
gamer, so
that's pretty cool then. So your brother kind of gave gateway almost, but then you
oh yeah.
crushed his soul.
Then I crushed his soul and he didn't want to play with me anymore. And then he crushed my soul.
Aw, so sad. And then what is your favorite game?
Donkey Kong 64. I
Ooh.
love that game so much. I know it's so old, like, but that was the first game I ever beat by myself. And the 64 was the first system that was mine. All the other ones were my brother's, and I could play it, but it was still his system. But my mom got me the Jungle Green Nintendo 64, and I was like, yes, I was one of those kids. There's all those pictures of the kids in the 90s that were like crying and freaking out and doing backflips on that Christmas. That was me. I loved it so much. But yeah, Donkey Kong 64, I love
I
that game so
love
much.
that.
I want them to bring it to Switch so bad. I hope they do.
Maybe you, because Mark is a fan of emulators, you could probably emulate it on
Oh
your
yeah,
PC.
probably. That would be great. I had it on the Wii U, but the Wii U was really because if you remember the 64 controller, there was like the ones under and all those different buttons. And for the Wii U, I just couldn't figure out. Like for Donkey Kong 64, there was so much to do. Like they had
Mhm.
instruments, weapons, all these different things to do, and I could not figure out how to do on the Wii U.
The
But
more
that
buttons,
would
the
be
more confusing.
yeah, because it
I
was because
agree.
you didn't do it on a controller. It was the big Wii U, and it's just like, how do I do this? Yeah.
Ah, Mark says I can have it to you in 5 minutes.
Really? Yeah. Oh my god. Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
you. Oh, he's so sweet. DM Wicked Virtue on Twitter then probably is the easiest about this.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah,
email.
or Discord, right?
Are you guys
I joined his Discord, so he can probably
Oh,
message
there
me
we
because I joined
go.
his Discord, right? I don't know.
Perfect. Yeah, Mark, Discord. She's there. Find her.
Discord or Twitter. I don't know if because I know sometimes you got to be friends on Discord. I don't know. I don't think we are. I just know I joined his Discord.
I'm so
Ooh.
like lost on like Discord friends and stuff. Like I realized I wasn't even friends with like Gary for
I know there's some people that I'm like pretty tight with that I'm not actually Discord friends with, and I'll go to message them on there, and I'm like, oh wait, got to add you first. Whoops.
Yeah, might help. We've been friends for forever, but not really official Discord friends. It's like Facebook official.
Listen, if Mark sends me Donkey Kong 64 and it works like for streaming, I'm sorry, it's all you guys are gonna see. I love that game so much.
Well, I know Mark like knows how to make gamer women happy with games. Like he is so good with like the console figuring things out, and I'm just like, I'll just cook and clean. I'm officially a sandwich.
No,
maker.
you're good at the producing. When I was on his channel, he was saying he needed another X-ray girl for producing his port. Everything like you weren't there and everything turned off on him. And you probably see I was on the stream for like 15 minutes by myself, just talking to his chat because he had to turn off his PC.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was like, it's okay. Everyone's like, Mark looks different. I'm like, he'll be here in a minute.
I mean, the easiest thing for him to do is just literally go into my room and sit and do it if he wanted to. Next time, Mark, you can do that. But in
Yeah.
any case, if I could clone myself, I would. Then I don't have to sleep. Really, realistically. Realistically.
Yeah, well, like you sleep, but like you get stuff done while you're asleep.
Yeah, that's true. One night shift and a day shift. And I'm sure Mark would love having two of me's around. Or either that or two of bees to complain in his ear.
Hmm.
You let me know, Mark.
No comment.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and then this is the last of Shield Wall's questions. Why do you like fight milk so much?
I don't like it. Now, X-Ray's been there with me. She knows what it's like. It's not that I like it, it's that I just tolerate it. I'm not like I don't want to be a party pooper. I've done it 4 times now. I just did it yesterday too. Now I'm on 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one was bad. The drink that I poured into it made it like frothy at the top, and I was like, I'm gonna die. This is not
Oh,
good.
ew. No.
Yeah,
No.
the other 3
Gross.
times it wasn't frothy, so it was okay. Except for the 3rd time, I almost like actually drowned because like I needed to breathe, and there was still 1 egg that I needed to get down. So
Ah!
after I drank it, I was like, but I don't think they heard me because I was away from my mic. Like,
I was actually shocked how quickly he drank his fight milk.
I know. Like, oh, you're still going. It's like, yeah, sorry. Like, we haven't done this 200 times.
I
Like,
don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh, okay.
Camelot does this thing where he meets like a goal, and when
Mhm.
you do, you drink fight milk, which is a shot of whatever alcohol you want, 8 ounces of milk, and 2 eggs.
Yeah.
In the same cup?
Yeah,
And
I don't measure the milk though. I just
That actually
pour it
sounds
in.
pretty good.
It's
It's
all right.
pretty good.
I the first 3 times I did it with almond milk because I have that for coffee, like unsweetened, because I don't like to put the sugar in my coffee in the morning, like spike the glucose and all that. So I just pour a little bit of that in there sometimes. So I didn't have any of that this time though, so I had to use regular milk, and that's why it got frothy, I think actually, and it was way worse. So I
Huh.
like to use
Oh
the
my
almond milk when I do it. It makes it a bit easier because it just oh god, the froth at the top almost took me out.
Yeah, no, it's like
Interesting.
having beer when it has the froth and drinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he does double fight milk with 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does. The one time he had double fight milk. I think it was the first time I was on or the second time I had it. I don't remember. But he had double and I was like, I only have 2 eggs. And he's like, it's okay, you don't have to do it. And I was like, I wasn't gonna do
thank
it.
God. No.
I wasn't gonna do 2. Like 2 is
That's
enough.
a whole meal right there. If you
Yeah,
had
Jay did double with him. He did
Jay's
double, I
also like
think.
double
Yeah,
our
and he was
size.
like, "Ugh." Yeah, but that's true. That's true. It's easy for them because they can just probably just like unlock the jaws and just dunk, but nah, not me. But
That's
no,
from the
I spilled like a little bit, like a tiniest bit, and I'm just like, oh, I spilled a little bit, and then I look up and Cody's just drenched. I was like, oh, never mind, it's fine. Like
he
it's
doesn't like
fine.
half naked too, though. So
He doesn't make it for X-ray. I'm too married for this. You gotta make that a shirt. You gotta make that a shirt.
Tugs, when we were on his stream, or every stream he does like the snake song too, and he
Naked
like,
snake.
strips to it, and I'm just
Oh
like,
my god.
He was like, I can't look. Is it over?
there's
Oh,
something
no.
so intimate about watching someone undress.
Yeah.
Like I will like when I'm in the x-ray room and say they did have to undress, unless I'm helping them undress because they're too weak, I'll turn my back. Am I watching you? Hell no.
She's scarred now
Hell
from
no.
Camelot's stream. Like she's just gonna hear Snake Eater every time someone's
I will watch everything but Naked Snake.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Cody is built differently. He had a post today. 5 years difference. Like he's like a skinny mini, and then I mean he was still like muscular to today. And then I was like, that all I could think was to say that was funny. A tan will change you. You don't need to.
She's coming through with the mom jokes. You're super tan now.
I know. That's all I see that's different.
That's so funny.
Okay, so we have another couple questions. So what's your opinion on silkies? Do you know what a silky is?
It's a Max thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Max brought it, but
And that was Corey, wasn't it? I know
What?
that had to have been Corey that asked the
Yeah.
question. Yeah. He hangs out with Max too much. I mean, hey, I don't think I've ever actually they're just silk boxers, right?
I'll leave that to you, Tugs.
All right, Tugs, she's the resident expert.
They're like short shorts. Usually the military wears them, but they're
Oh, okay.
then they have like underwear built in them, and they'll use them to work out and stuff. But they're think Tom Selleck in Magnum PI, not quite. His were longer, a little bit longer, but that short
Okay.
shorts that men used to wear, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, if like wear what you want when you're working out. I don't really have an opinion on them, I guess. If they're comfortable when you're working out, wear them.
Yeah.
1980s gym shorts. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. My words are
I
hard.
think you have to be pretty built to wear them. If you were not
You're like chunky, just like the
chunky or
fats
even
over the
skinny, like it wouldn't accent you in the best way possible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that's probably why, like, when I do picture like a muscular guy in the 80s wearing them. So yeah.
Mhm, mhm. And then what do you feel what's your opinion on sundresses?
I love them. I have a lot of them.
Yes. Team
They're so
sundress.
flattering.
Yes. They are. I have so many. I just posted a picture on Instagram today in one. And I
Oh,
love it.
let's totally check it out.
It's from when I was at Citywide. It's actually my favorite one. It broke on me. Funny story about this dress. It ripped on me, and luckily I wear like short shorts under them because I'm always afraid of like the wind blowing up and Everyone's been seeing my business. And I'm
Oh.
really glad it broke out on me at the mall. And I was walking around the mall like this, holding it. I had to go buy a shirt, but thankfully I had shorts on under it.
Oh, she's so cute.
I love that dress. And something that makes me sad, I got it at like a festival and they had a pink one too. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll come back and get
Shoulda
it or
got both.
something.
Should have got
I
both.
know. I wish I would have because I can't find that dress anywhere. It was at a festival, like a food festival, and I was like, darn it.
That's really
Very
cute. I get a lot of
It
my
is.
sundresses at Walmart nowadays. Walmart has
Yeah.
stepped up their games so much.
I need to go to Walmart and find this.
Their
like-
dresses are so cute.
I
You
just put one on my I found one on Amazon. I'm like, I'm gonna pop it on my wish list. I have a problem. So I'm like, let me put it there so that I don't buy it right now. 'Cause
There you
I
go.
This
have
is the
I have
back
a
of it,
dress
right?
problem. Yep, that's the back of it.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I like that.
It's very
picture too.
comfortable. Thanks.
Ooh, and you got some tats up here. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. What does that say? I can't read it.
I got that when I was a teenager, so it actually still looks pretty good. It's from Buffy because I'm a Buffy nerd. So it's a heart with a stake going through it, and it's from a quote from that she says like before, spoiler for anyone that hasn't watched it, before she dies. She says the hardest thing in this world is to live in it. I guess I was feeling a bit emo at that point, but like I mean,
That's
it's
such a
kind of
great
true.
quote.
It is.
true,
It's a
though.
good quote.
I
So
love
yeah.
Buffy.
Me
I-
too. I got the season 2 back there.
Yeah, I
the
see
collector's
it.
DVD. I love it so much. And this, thank you. Hokies actually sent this to me for my birthday. Thank you.
Oh, see, Hokies is awesome. Trying to see if you have any other sundresses. You have so many good cosplays. Oh, here's another one.
I have a couple. I have like a yellow one that I think is on my Instagram
exactly.
and a flower one. Yeah.
So cute here.
I love
yeah.
that one. I have
Yeah.
that one in blue and a flowery one too.
That's cute.
Like there's flowers on it. I have a problem.
So we all need to go shopping together, is what I'm
I
hearing.
think
Yes.
so. I think
Yes.
so. I would love that if we
That's
could.
what X-Ray's doing right now. She's on my Instagram
I'm
shopping.
on your channel or on your Instagram shopping for stuff. Okay, so then how do you keep confidence up when it's constantly getting shattered every time you leave your comfort zone? This includes dating and regular life.
Well, I feel like everyone, like you get your confidence down a little at certain points. Like somebody, like if you're really into somebody and they shoot you down, like that's definitely a big blow. You just gotta pick yourself up. I know that sounds probably so cliche, but you just gotta go through the motions and then pick yourself up. And not every situation is gonna end up like that. Like if it's in a relationship, you just gotta keep going.
Yeah, I think the hard part is the acceptance of it. It's like
Mhm.
it's not in your control to get them to say yes or no, you know?
Mhm.
Or I guess in this case, yes. But what is in control is the feelings that you have and what you do with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Like you can't control what they're gonna say or what's gonna happen, but you can control how you react to it and go through the motions. Like you can't just be like, well, you know what, you said no, so I'm just gonna get over it. No, you're gonna be sad if you're really into somebody. So you gotta let yourself feel the emotions and go through it. And then you can move forward from that. Because it always, even if it takes a long time, you'll wake up one day and be okay. Like say a relationship ends and you're heartbroken about it. And you're like for a year, you wake up every day and you're just like sad. You think about that person, but then one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna like not think about them, and you're gonna think about that and be like, wait, I didn't think about this person today. Cool.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get to start moving forward. It could take a long time. I'm not gonna say it's gonna take you a week or a month. It takes time, but you will always get
Absolutely.
over it. Like it'll always, maybe not even get over it, but you'll get over the situation.
So a quote from one of my favorite podcasters about death, actually, specifically, but you can use it for anything. It never gets what was it? The feeling, oh God, I don't want to butcher it. It never gets the feelings never change. Like it'll still always like suck, but it gets easier with time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it.
I've heard that one before. You're saying it like right, but I know there's like probably a different way that it's like, but you're saying it like the meaning behind it correctly.
Oh, here. It never gets better, but it does get easier. There you
That
go.
is a good one.
Yeah. Thank
Mark
you.
got it.
Thank you, honey. He knows what I
Mark
listen to all
knows
the time.
everything.
He does. He knows me so well. But in any case, these are good words, and it sucks. When I had my last big breakup, I sat. This sounds really cheesy, but I sat in my bathtub with crying music, with my glass of wine, with my other bottle as well, just in case so I don't have to leave the tub. I just like cried. Cried.
No, she's crying and me and Tugs are laughing. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
not funny,
no.
but
In retrospect, it's really funny, but like I would just sit there and just think and look at all the pictures and think, oh my God, did I do the right thing? And then I look at the text messages or stuff like that just to like remind myself
Yeah.
and like to really get into the to process those emotions. I find women are very good at doing this, and then men feel it like a couple months later.
Yeah, they shove it down because they gotta
Mhm.
be, No, that's true, like, you have to like, I okay, this is a silly example, but I don't know if you guys ever watched Everybody Loves Raymond when that was a popular show, but there was an episode where, like, he sees his wife just, like, crying. He's like, "What? Why are you crying?" She's like, "Sometimes you just have to cry and, like, let frustration out."
Mhm.
And then she's like, "Let's put on, like, a sad song." So he's sitting there trying to cry on the couch. He put a sad song on, and then he can't, so he puts on Lady Marmalade and just starts dancing around the living room because he
love
couldn't do it. He's like, "I can't do it. I can't." He's sitting there trying to force himself to cry.
Oh my gosh. Hey, whatever
Yeah.
works for you. And I
Yeah.
mean, D-Day, this is also good too. Keep yourself busy, improving yourself. Life has a lot to offer than just women.
Yeah.
Absolute facts. Women
Mhm.
or men too, whatever you're into, are supposed to complement your life, not fix it. So, yeah. And you're not always going to be sad. There's going to be good moments too. You'll forget. You'll be like with friends or at work, and all of a sudden it's like out of your mind. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
like I said, even if it takes a year or longer, one day you're gonna wake up and you're just not gonna think about it anymore. You're gonna be okay.
exactly. Um, Deranged Lunatic, aka DL for 199. Amanda, you're quite the hottie. I definitely agree. Thank you. It's very, very cute. I'll say it in the girl way. You're so cute.
So cute.
But yeah, I think that's it for questions. Unless Chet has anything else that they want to
And no, don't ask her for her phone number. All right, behave.
no, yeah.
Behave. Tugs is like, "Down, boys.
That does not
Down."
work for men and not as healthy as you think. Oh, well, I'll just say my experiences then.
It works
Oh,
for girls. You gotta I do agree that you do gotta let your emotions out. Like, maybe a guy doesn't wanna sit in the tub with a glass of wine and cry. But that's I've done it. I've been there. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been there too. Um
no, Ginger, not your PIN number or social security number,
Oh,
your credit
jeez.
card number. But what's funny is like some people don't even ask for that anymore. It's like your Instagram, your Twitter, like that's like where you start talking, and then afterwards a number, because people don't even talk on the phone. It's all about texting, I find, when I was
Yeah.
dating.
Mhm. It's been like that for a while now.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. Does MSN Messenger still even exist? I don't even
I
know.
don't think so. I don't know actually. I used AIM. I miss AIM.
Me too. Do you remember, like, doing the, little profiles? Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
remember,
and
like,
then
if
you
you
were
broke
going
up with,
through
like
it.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
if you broke up with someone and then it'd be, like, a crying face or, like, some
Yes.
lyric from, like,
Yeah,
an
or
emo
just some
song.
like really emotional quote from a song lyric or something with a bunch of emojis. Like it was always like a sparkle emoji and a heart and just like this too
Oh my
shall
God.
pass.
Your
Yes.
MySpace page. I think
Oh,
MySpace
I love
doesn't
MySpace.
exist anymore.
Oh,
I
I
miss
wish
MySpace.
we did Tom dirty, man. He was good
Yeah.
to us. I loved MySpace. I loved my friends. I was
Great.
really good at it. My friends would give me their profiles to decorate their pages for them and put the music on and get like the
That
good
was my
backgrounds
favorite
and stuff.
part.
Fun. Your
It
pictures,
was.
your
I
top
was
8
good at that.
friends.
My one friend though, he was my best guy friend. He messed up when he did that because I gave him a My Little Pony background and did like the Vanessa Carlton song 1,000 Miles. And he wouldn't go on for like a month. And then one day he got on, he's like, I gave a girl my MySpace. And I was like, oh, I forgot that I did that. He's like, thanks. Thanks. And like he changed his password, but at the time he didn't have his own AOL. It was dumb. We were like real young, like I don't know, like 13. So our friend, another mutual friend, that's whose profile, like whose AOL he used. Then he eventually made his own. So he would change his password, and we're like, well, we could just change it back because it goes to his AOL. And, oh God, it was so fun.
Oh my
I
God.
think I gave him a Care Bears background at one point too.
Listen,
That
kids
was
these
a slippery
days,
slope.
kids these days will never know how the savagery
You
for
get
your
into an
top
argument,
friends.
gone.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like,
You
you
messed
moved me
up
down 3
once.
spaces.
Yep, and we moved you. Yes. No, man. But everybody always had Tom as their number one. All of us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a couple more soups here. D-Day Direwolf for $2. Was your door always open? I think so. Don't try to scare me now, D-Day. You know I get scared easily. Like really easily.
It was.
Okay.
I saw Mark walk by like an hour ago. So.
Okay, good. I saw him come down, of course, to get the game, but and so forth for 50 British pounds.
Fitty.
Oh my God, I can't even say this. Sitting around crying is a slippery sloop. I'm expecting you to say sloop all the time now, Ian.
It's my fault. I was playing Sea of Thieves, and he just was like, I like the word sloop. I'm like, okay.
I like the word wench. Can I call her a sloopy wench?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means as an adjective. We got Jay Schwalbach. I thought you went to go, watch Jeremy, by the way. For $49.72 says, plus, I also make a deal about celebrating our sexy versary, October 3rd, 1980. Wow. First time we did the naughty.
Whoa.
Wow. I don't know if your wife would be very happy with you talking about
Well,
this.
we don't know who she is, so we'll pretend.
That's true.
Maybe you do. I don't know.
Did we ever meet her? Maybe Tugs?
Who?
She's
Schwalbach's
she's
wife.
checked out.
I don't know.
I don't think
Maybe?
I remember meeting you, J.H. Schwalbach, but not your wife.
I don't know. Huh. I don't know.
He also says, what a great night. I send a cake to the school she teaches at every year. Oh my God. What do you put on that cake? They don't know why. But they ask.
Oh no.
You are such a jokester. It says, love you all. Mark, I expect a cake on our sexy versary. I don't even remember our sexy.
He probably doesn't. He might know, actually.
I feel like he might know. He might know. I remember our first kiss. It was also our first date, so I guess. Yes, Jay Schwalbach. He says yes in Vegas. So I did meet her. Oh, I'm so sorry for forgetting. I'm sorry. But I'm glad he gets you a cake every time that date passes.
That's really cute. Women love cake.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, take notes. Just
Just
cake.
or a bouquet of like Mark, you can take notes on this. The
Mark,
rose flower or chocolate dipped strawberry bouquet.
Chocolate chip flowers.
Chocolate chip flowers. I'm okay with that too.
Actually, I wonder if that's a thing, but I would eat that.
Oh, I was busy. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person.
I'm so sorry. I know we can't keep track of any. Tugs' brain broke. I'm so tired. And this overtime at work today just did not help. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm being a lump on the log. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. You have your cake and eat it too gets a whole new meaning with that knowledge. Okay. Next time, Jay Schwalbach, I would love to meet the wifey. You are a wonderful person, funny person. I also would like to meet your daughter. That'd be great. We haven't talked about Bachelorette in a long time, so she might not watch, but much love. So this was really fun, guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did.
Yeah, it
too.
was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Maybe next time you can drink more wine and we'll be real
I
silly.
want to. I mean, like, I love coming on Wicked's World. That's a fun podcast too.
Yes, I love Wicked's
We
World.
have a ladies' night. We'll do a ladies' night. Me and actually are talking about it with Blabs, and we're just gonna drink wine. I don't know if Tugs knows this, but Blabs actually took a whole course on wine. She knows like a lot about wine.
Why do I never think Blabs is older? Like in my head, Blabs is
You think she's like 12?
12. Yeah, I don't know why. Or maybe not 12, like 15. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because she looks young. I don't know what it is. But
I mean, she is young, but she's old enough to drink.
Okay, wait, she doesn't act innocent. She just seems like she's innocent like on
Well,
the
she's
She's
not
like Harry
innocent.
Potter.
There is nothing innocent
She's
about
not
that.
innocent.
She
Absolutely.
created a roller coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon
and
and
murdered people.
murdered everybody.
16 people, and she was
It
like,
was hilarious, and that
was
might
so
be one of my
excited
favorite
about it.
videos ever because her face. Amanda did it. Her face
yeah,
was like
I just
watching
did it, yeah,
eagerly,
like an
and she-
orchestra.
like an orchestra.
So happy. I kill people. Yay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I said
it was
that, like she just
crazy.
whacked 16 people. You Tony
Yeah.
Soprano, like what the hell?
But I can't
Oh.
judge her. So my sister used to do the same thing. My sister also played Zoo Tycoon. And so she would build these elaborate like zoo pens with the animals and stuff, and then she would lock the front doors and open all the cages.
Sounds like something Blabs would do.
I need to play Roller Coaster Tycoon again. That'd be fun.
I
That
have
was
it
I
on
am
fun.
going to buy
Steam.
all of the things. I know. I bought a T-shirt last night.
Oh, Tara, you have wine for us? You're so kind. Oh, that's
What?
so sweet.
And I had
Tara-
one stream where he's like,
Tara
I
is
have like
being
10
lying.
bottles. He's like, I don't drink, and I have like 10 bottles of wine in front of me for Wicked Extra and Tugs.
Oh,
Yes,
hell
Tara.
yeah. I
Tara
Just
is single-handedly fueling
shout
my
out
alcoholism.
to John. I think it was John. I'm so sorry. I forgot your name wrong. He gave me a bottle from a place called Uranus Wineries. I drank it. Of course. It was really good. It was actually sweet. But it was such a gag place. He had like a shirt on that was super funny, like catchline. I wish I had the picture. But anyways,
I
thank
will always
you.
listen. I have a PO box. Okay, I have a PO box. If you want to
Same.
send me wine, please
Yeah.
please do.
Wicked, do you have a PO box? If not, you should get one.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna send her all the things. Be appropriate with your gifts, please. That's all I ask.
Be appropriate. Yeah.
I have not gotten an inappropriate gift yet.
Me neither. I've had it for a bit because I had one before I moved.
Listen. Somebody sent me a fake. I thought they were real, like a fake pair of undies. Like it
Oh yeah.
looks like a used undie. Like you got sent used undies, but it's actually
Oh, a
fake. It's
gag
not real.
gift. Oh.
Yeah, and I still to this day have no idea who sent that. I have no idea. There was nothing. There was like a funny card that came with it, and there was no gotcha.
no.
There was nothing. Yeah.
Was it you, Shaka Zulu, that sent it? Challenge accepted. Oh, it's illegal to ship alcohol.
What? Where? Since when? I ship
Doug's
stuff.
is like, I do it all the time.
That's
Well,
interesting.
I
mean,
mean, no,
they-
she doesn't. Allegedly.
What they don't know in the box won't hurt them.
I think if it's within the country, it's not as bad though.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
maybe.
out country. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But anyways, thank you guys so
Shaka
much.
Zulu, was that you?
Maybe.
Really?
I think
I
he's
still
just
know. I
playing
have
with
no
us.
idea.
He's just playing with us at this point.
Me.
Um,
No, me.
Thank you, Tugs, of course, for finally making it. And your
I'm so sorry.
mission, which we won't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you say that, I
overtime.
just picture her like Mission Impossible with like a big box of
Like
wine. I don't know
Charlie's
why. They're just like,
Angels and that-
doo-doo-doo.
like a sexy suit.
My super special mission.
But yeah, I'm glad you made it. Of course. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Are you asking me or are you
Yeah.
asking Amanda? Oh, no, I don't have anything to promote. Thursday, if we're not doing No Way Out, what is today? Today's Wednesday. I'm probably gonna do some Diablo. It's week 2 of drops. And I'm
Nice.
obsessed with Diablo.
Nice.
love
Mark
it.
was playing that quite a lot too.
It's so good. I gotta change my online name though to not my personal name so that we can
Oh,
play
well,
together.
that would help. Yeah.
Stanley Cup Parade on Saturday. I'll be at the Stanley Cup Parade on Saturday.
Nice.
Poor Duke. I'm so appreciative of you, really.
He's a
he has to go
bandwagoner at this point.
Yeah.
You can find all my stuff down below in the links. No, nothing crazy, you know. Wicked Virtue, Amanda. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Whenever, if you guys ever want me to come on, I'm free.
I love the
Alright,
idea of a
absolutely.
ladies' night. You can drink your wine. I mean, this is basically
Yeah.
what this is.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, am I what I
Yeah,
got going
go ahead,
on?
go ahead.
I'm like, oh, you should like be quiet. I'm like, oh, whoops. So what's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm gonna have Wicked's World. It's probably gonna be solo. I didn't invite anyone on, so I'm just gonna talk about stuff on YouTube. And then Friday I'll be on Kick. So that's really it right now that I got going on this week. Maybe something on Saturday. So just look out for it. I put it on Twitter and Instagram and stuff whenever I got
very
something
nice.
going on live. So
And she's on Kick as well, so go find her over there.
yes.
And Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, we saw some cute Instagram photos. You should follow her. She
Actually,
does cosplay too.
Yes, and I have a locals. I post my cosplays on locals too. So.
Ooh, there you go.
Like
So
full
yeah,
sets, not just like one picture. I do spoilers on social media.
yeah, sub to her locals to get all the pics. I mean, you should do a calendar at this point then.
People said that. I'm like, I should ask Anna about that because she knows all the how to do that.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Oh, Paul, how do you know this wine so well? I know you didn't technically give me the gift. I do remember that of the Uranus wine. Like,
She had like half a glass and she can't even function. I'm just kidding.
but I did meet Paul, so that was nice. Oh, you were there. Okay, okay. I'm glad you remember, and I don't. Where it normally comes out red. Oh no!
Ew.
Sure, that
Ew.
should be a
Bend.
so gross. But yeah, thank you so much, Wicked, for joining us. This was so fun. My tummy hurts a little bit from laughing. This was a good one, and I hope you guys have a very good week. Next week, who do we have coming on? I'm just checking right now, and I don't see who's coming on because I don't have the calendar pulled up. We have
Everybody.
A person.
we do have Legal Mindset coming back, so
Oh yes. Oh my gosh,
Nice.
that's right. Tuesday. Oh, I do have something coming up. Oh my god, thank you for reminding me. Tuesday, the 20th, I will be on his channel. Oh my god. I was like, oh shoot, what day is it? Yeah, Tuesday the 20th. Somebody don't let me forget. I'll be on Legal Mindset's channel. That's next Tuesday.
it's okay. But yeah, he'll be back. And yeah, I think what would be really fun is to do a panel of girls versus boys. I just thought of it now.
Oh, that would be fun.
would be.
Like they do on like the Vice channel. Just like
But of course, we're not going to sit in a circle.
yeah, that would be fun.
It's too much effort to get y'all together, especially him. He's so far away. But that would be fun. I think maybe we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, Wicked, thank you. Tugs, thank
Yes,
you. And
thank you for having me.
Thank you.
thank you.
No,
And I
no.
hope you guys have a good night.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.